special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports. It's time for Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR. Pierre Governor Baseball is brought to you by Bank West, B&B Equipment, the Association of South Dakota Weed and Pest, and Fisher Rounds and Associates.
There's a fly ball out to left field. Going back on it deep is Rue. He's going to turn and watch it sail over for a home run. And Andy Gordon, his first home run of the season, first home run of his career.
And by Sioux Nation, Black Hills Federal Credit Union, Overhead Door Company, ServiceMASTER, and All Around Graphics.
The 2-1 pitch. Stout. Right field. Did he get enough of it? Is it going to go? And walk off. Grand slam for Garrett Stout.
Here, Governor Baseball is also brought to you by Nystrom Electric, Wagner Auto, AGTEGRA, AIRTECH, Pierre Sports Center, CommTech, and Rising Hope Counseling.
3-2 pitch. There's a line drive. Iverson going over for it. Dives, makes the catch. Iverson saves at least 2 runs, and we remain scoreless through 3.5.
And by Avera, Dakota Sprinkler, Birding Electric, Kathy Sun and Shine Properties, Gales Gas, First Dakota National Bank, and Lamb Motor.
We'll take off for a second. Dean out towards right field. That one is going to get out for Bennett Dean. 5 runs driven in.
Pierre Governor Baseball is also brought to you by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Olson Plumbing, TODD'S Electric, Kruger Contracting, Midwest Cooperative, Gateway Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, and Shane's Pharmacy. And now let's go to the booth for the call of today's game with KCCR Sports Director John Winkler.
And from beautiful Hyde Stadium, we welcome you to the final 4 games of the regular season for the Pierre Governors as they play this weekend, as they take on the Sioux Falls Washington Warriors here on Friday night, as the Governors are looking to potentially climb their way up to all the way up to the 3 seed if they can get some wins here this weekend. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean. And Greg, it's simple. You win and you extend your lead on fourth place. But if you win a lot of games this weekend, you can find yourself going up to the number 3 seed by the end of it. And hey, like I said, the formula is simple. Just win.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of it, is that right now the Governors control their own destiny, and as I was talking to a couple of them earlier today, I mean the bottom line is this is exactly the position you want to be in at the end of the year, and so for Pierre, what they got to do is just go out and win ball games, and like you alluded to, if they win 2 of these 4, in all likelihood they probably land somewhere in the top 4 in the playoff chase, which allows them to host the regional one of the regional tournaments next week. And then every game they win beyond 2, they just likely climb a little higher. And so it's a good scenario for Pierre right now.
Yeah, and this is where you want to be at. You want to be able to take care of business and not have to worry about anything else going your way. Although we will say that Brandon Valley sweeping Harrisburg last night has given the Governors a little bit of extra life and a little bit extra potential to move up to the 3 seed because of that doubleheader sweep.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I think that was something as you and I have been talking during the week, something that we were, kind of on paper certainly not expecting, but certainly was a benefit for the Governors to see Brandon Valley sweep Harrisburg last night and bring Harrisburg kind of back into that 3-4-5 jumble with Pierre and Brookings. And so right now, like I said, the Governors are just are sitting pretty, and I think right now they've won 6 in a row. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They've got their pitching lined up for this weekend, and so the stars are kind of all aligned. But it doesn't do any good if you don't go out and prove it on the field.
Absolutely, and there you will get a Game 1 start from Lincoln Keenels on the mound. Greg, you stopped by the studio here today. We were talking about the Pierre Governor pitching staff, and Brady Getz with 19 2/3 innings pitched. No, he's got the most innings. No Governor pitcher has thrown over 20 innings because of how many arms the Governors have had and how good they have been so far this season, that you don't need to have guys throw 30 to 40 innings in a season to get the job done, because you can go through 5-6 guys before you even you still don't even have a drop-off after that.
Yeah, and I think that's really the biggest thing is the fact that the depth of the staff, and we've alluded to it throughout the year, is that you really can go probably 8 or 9 arms deep, maybe 10, depending upon the situation, and it's probably not quite as important during the high school season when your games are not as close together, but once you get into the Legion season, that's something that's really going to be a benefit well, in the summer season, benefit to Post 8, as they have, I think, close to 50 games scheduled, a lot of games packed into a short number of days, and we talked about, as you and I talked about throughout the week and earlier today, the fact that you get into a state tournament where you're playing 5 or 6 games in 5 days with the pitch count rules. You really need about 8 to 10 arms in order to get through a tournament like that.
Governors are taking on Sioux Falls, Washington here in the first of 2 back-to-back doubleheaders on Friday and Saturday. They take on Lincoln tomorrow. But we will step aside for 3 minutes, come back with more of the pregame show. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates, at your service, at your side, with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
BankWest Insurance has the expertise and resources to deliver personalized service and customized solutions. As an independent agency, we shop dozens of companies to get you the best coverage at the best price. As your trusted choice for insurance coverage, we promise to go the extra mile so you can rest assured your loved ones and your assets are protected. Contact your local agent to put BankWest Insurance to work for you.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, may go down in value, equal opportunity provider.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our top priority is providing value to our members. Since 1941, we have helped our neighbors buy homes and vehicles, finance their farms and ranches, insure their assets, and retire comfortably. From Custer to Sioux Falls, we live and work in our communities, and we treat our members like family. Visit bhfcu.com to learn more about how you can join. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by NCUA.
HomeCare Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. HomeCare Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers a full range of in-home support services to our area. For more information about HomeCare Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. HomeCare Services, 224-2273.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre knows what that sound is. It's baseball season. They also know that means it's grilling season. Sioux Nation has the Green Mountain Grill choices that you need for those hot dogs and burgers for tailgating. And let's be honest, you know there will be a steak in there too. Visit Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre and see their selection of grills. While you're there, also pick up some seasonings for your grilling needs. Visit Sioux Nation at 504 Deadwood Street, Fort Pierre.
As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium as we are getting closer to Game 1 of this doubleheader between the Pierre Governors and the Washington Warriors. John Winkler here alongside is me, Greg Dean. And Greg, it's good to have you back for the stretch run of the regular season, final 4 games, all here at Hyatt Stadium tonight and tomorrow. And should be some pretty good baseball against these 2 teams that will be coming in with the Washington Warriors here tonight and the Lincoln Patriots tomorrow. A big game for both these teams. Washington trying to climb the standings. 2 wins against Pierre will be big wins against Pierre. Same goes for Lincoln trying to stay on that number 1 seed.
Yeah, and I think this is, for the number 8 seeded Washington Warriors right now, they're looking for every win they can get right now, and if you go through and even though the Warriors come in 13-10, they're 4-6 over their last 10 games. If you look at common opponents and how Washington has fared compared to how Pierre fared against those same teams, there's a lot of similarities. I mean, the records may be different, but I think on paper this is going to be a couple of pretty good, closely matched, well-played baseball games.
Andrew Evenson is on the mound for the Washington Warriors. This Washington team has been, like you said, two evenly close matchup teams, and for Washington, they threw on Tuesday. They threw Gage Sharping and Tyler Boyum to the point where they cannot pitch today, but everybody else is available. They're going with Evenson here in game number 1.
Yeah, and without access to Washington stats on Game Changer, just kind of our perception is Evenson is probably certainly among their top 4. There's a Glovich kid that will probably I suspect end up pitching the second game today. He's probably also one of their top 4 pitchers. So I think if you're Sioux Falls, Washington right now, you're trying to throw out your best lineup, trying to pick up a win or two, because right now sitting in 8th place, they are just fractionally behind Sioux Falls O'Gorman in 7th, and with a couple of wins today, it would not be a surprise to see Washington jump potentially all the way up to maybe as high as 6th and past Brandon Valley.
And that's the fun of what we are seeing here in the this last couple of games of the season, scoreboard watching. We get to do it. We love doing it. The players can't be scoreboard watching, but we get to have the opportunity to do something like that, and that makes it even more fun at this point of the season.
Yeah, a couple of 3 big doubleheaders tonight. Sioux Falls O'Gorman has a doubleheader in Huron against the Tigers. O'Gorman currently sits in 7th. Huron sits 12th. Rapid City Central has made the East Coast trip. They are in Brookings tonight. Rapid City Central currently is in 14th place. Brookings right now fractionally behind the Governors in 5th place. Governors currently sitting in 4th, and then Mitchell and Yankton, the number 9 seeded Colonels taking on the number 11 seeded Yankton Bucks. So a lot of teams really trying to jockey for playoff seeding right now, and trying to improve their stead.
As we get set for first pitch, we will step aside. We will come back in 3 minutes with first pitch. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
This is the life. Sitting here, sipping lemonade, basking in the warm sun, and admiring the beauty and the solitude of my very own landscaped backyard. I wasn't sure, but I was so glad when I made the call to Andy at Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping to finally have the work done. Calling Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping was probably one of the best and the easiest decisions I've ever made.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, 280-4440. That's 280-4440.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
The Association of South Dakota County Weed and Pest Boards reminds all landowners and managers to look for and control noxious weeds this spring and summer. The receding water levels have provided new areas for noxious weeds to establish. Infestations that are found and treated early reduce the cost of control. For help identifying and controlling noxious weeds, call your county weed and pest supervisor or the South Dakota Department of Agriculture. Remember, good neighbors control noxious weeds.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
ServiceMASTER of Pierre. It's no secret we clean carpets professionally, but not many people know we clean furniture, kitchens, bathrooms, walls, floors, and windows. We also do fire and water restoration, plus construction cleanups. There's nothing we can't clean. Give ServiceMASTER a call at 224-9919. ServiceMASTER. The clean you expect, the service you deserve. ServiceMASTER, 224-9919.
As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium, as we are still getting set for first pitch, the Governors taking on the Washington Warriors. As Pierre coming in at 16-4 on the season, number 4 right now in the standings. Washington coming in 2 games over 500, and that sweep, Greg, on Tuesday of the Mitchell Colonels was big because they moved 2 games over 500. For them, yes, it was big, but also for Pierre coming in this game, because if you're obviously you want to win both games. You want to be able to sweep. So those 2 wins would mean a lot for Pierre because that's 2 47-point wins instead of if they're 1 game over 500 or if they're right at 500, you beat them twice. Well, those are 2 44-point wins. Now with those 2 wins on Thursday, that is a huge, or Tuesday, that's a huge lift for the Governors if they get wins here.
Yeah, because right now every team is just fighting for every last seed point just to try to separate themselves from the teams below them, and so when you go on the averages, because the way that the PowerPoints work is it's a tiered system. You get more points for beating a better team, and then you divide your total number of points by the number of games you played, and so when you get down into these fractions, I mean, every single last point that you can pick up is really huge.
Yeah, and for the Governors, you talking about, they put their best lineup out there. Pierre's got to do the same thing too. Especially in a weekend where you control your own destiny. The last thing you want is have a bunch of losses on your record and say, oh, now all of a sudden we need a lot of help to make sure we stay in the top 4. So the Govs are going to go out there. They're obviously looking, every line they put out there is looking to win, but you're putting your best 9 out, best 9 or 10 out if you have a DH, and then the Govs are throwing some of their best guys. They will throw probably everybody, though, because, again, all the pitching that they have, they don't have to worry about a guy struggles. You can easily get them out and don't have to worry about their pitching for the rest of the weekend. But this is a big 2 games against this Washington Warrior team.
Yeah, and we talked about the fact that, and I looked at the numbers as we went into that first break in the pregame. There's 11 different players on this Governor team that have thrown at least 5 innings so far this year, but none more than 19. Brady Getz being the leader at just an out away from 20 complete innings, and so this Governor team has a wealth of arms, and in a scenario like this where you've got 4 games within 24 hours, it's in all likelihood that they will potentially use all 11 of those guys. I mean, I can certainly see that kind of scenario because, like you said, you can go into that bullpen pretty quickly if you need to this week.
As we will step aside, we will come back here in 3 minutes. We'll have first pitch for you. Listen to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner. They'll answer your questions, and they'll even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy is the pharmacy you know and trust. That number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
CommTech in Pierre invites you to come out and check out their expansive showroom. It's filled with everything you need to thrive in today's technology-dependent world and a knowledgeable staff to guide you through. CommTech has TVs, computers, personal electronics to commercial electronics, anything to fit your technology needs. The experienced professionals at CommTech can guide you through any questions you may have. Whether you struggle with technology or live for it, CommTech can help you find exactly what you're looking for. CommTech will even install and service what they sell, so you don't have to worry once you get your products home. CommTech, located at 1601 North Lowell Avenue behind Walmart. Check them out online at CommTechPlus.com.
South Dakota didn't always have a capital, or even a permanent settlement for that matter. There wasn't always a river city on the Missouri River. And before First Dakota filed the first charter in 1872, there wasn't always a bank in South Dakota. Every timeless institution, tradition, and thriving business was started somewhere by someone who had a dream and the passion to make it happen first. What will be your South Dakota first? Visit firstdakota.com/first. Member FDIC.
Do you need the Pierre Governor apparel for the big game? Or how about Stanley County apparel or post-state apparel? All-around graphics in Pierre is your place to go. Not only can you get your apparel, but they also do screen printing, jerseys, awards, and trophies. And did you know they can print and customize your signs? All-around graphics can do it all. Located at 819 North Euclid Avenue or call 224-4677. All-around graphics in Pierre, your one-stop shop.
AGTEGRA in Highmore. We pride ourselves on providing our customers with reliable markets, superior services, and quality products. From corn and soybeans to spring and winter wheat, you can trust AGTEGRA in Highmore with all your grain handling needs. It's all about helping you achieve the best harvest possible. Call AGTEGRA of Highmore today at 605-846-1379. That's 605-846-1379.
Are you building a new home or remodeling the old? Adding a fireplace can make a house a home. Olson Plumbing in Pierre carries a full line of Heat-A-Later fireplaces. Whether your taste is traditional or contemporary, Olson Plumbing has a great selection of Heat-A-Later fireplaces that will fit any style. Whether you're building new or updating, call Olson Plumbing. Heat-A-Later Fireplaces, the first name in fireplaces. Olson Plumbing in Pierre is your source for the industry's largest selection of indoor-outdoor fireplaces, either gas or wood, and outdoor fire pits. Stop by their showroom at 2803 East Wells or give them a call, 224-6436.
Ferding Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Ferding Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Ferding Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Ferding Electric, 224-8684.
Are you driving a 2014 or newer vehicle? Are there less than 100,000 miles on it? Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is prepared to give you top dollar. Again, if your ride is 2014 or newer with less than 100,000 miles, Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you top dollar for it right now. Trade it in or sell it to us. Doesn't matter. Your vehicle has never been worth more than it is right now. Stop in at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gatewayflt.com.
As we welcome you back here to Hyde Stadium, you're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. John Wickler alongside Greg Dean here on this Friday evening. Lincoln Keenels is on the mound as the Pierre Governors are ready to take on the Washington Warriors. As we go through the starting lineups first for the Washington Warriors, in center field leading things off will be Dylan Rippentrop. In left field, Brooks Stein batting second. Gage Sharping will bat third, play right field. Miles Reese, the shortstop, will bat fourth. Bryce Ronkin, the second baseman, batting fifth. Parker Osborne, the right fielder, batting sixth. The third baseman, batting sixth. Andrew Glovich, the catcher, batting seventh. Jack Neese, the first baseman, batting eighth. And Andrew Evenson is on the mound as he is batting ninth for the Washington Warriors. They go against Lincoln Keenels as he is coming in with a 1-0 record on the season and will be his third game starting. He is 2 for 2 in save opportunities, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 6 walks, 24 strikeouts, an ERA of 1.105 and a whip of 1.026 as we are set for baseball here this evening as stepping in the box will be Dylan Rippentrop to lead things off for the Washington Warriors. As the Lincoln Keenels will go for the windup, the first pitch, showing Button pulling it back and taking for ball 1 as we're underway here at 5:04 on this beautiful Friday night. Greg, this might actually be the best weather we've had for baseball all season.
Yeah, 73 degrees at first pitch. It doesn't get any better than that. Just all you need is 1 degree cooler, and it would be perfect. Mostly cloudy skies, although the sun is trying to peek out right now.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one is at the letters and is taken for strike one to Dylan Rippentrop. Rippentrop had one for 5 on Tuesday against the Mitchell Colonels as the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Actually a foul tip, but is now 2-2.
Governors in their dark gray uniforms, dark gray tops, gray pants, green sleeves, green and gray caps. For Washington, they have light gray pants, the traditional orange and black tops, orange lettering, fully black tops with orange letters, and looks like black caps with a big orange W on the front.
As here comes the 3-2 pitch. The leadoff man, Ribbentrop, will pop it foul. Over on first base side, Benedine will run out of room as it hits the top of the dugout. And it remains at 3-2. We'll go through the defensive lineman for the Pierre Governors after this at-bats. As Lincoln Keenholz has a full count. Already going to be his 7th pitch of the ball game to Dylan Rippentrop. It's on its way. Swinging the foul back. Ribbentrop just hanging in there. And remains a full count at 3-2.
Yeah, and kind of doing what you want out of your leadoff hitter, and that's to really extend this first at bat and give the rest of your lineup for the Washington Warriors a good chance to look at Lincoln Keenholz.
3-2 pitches upstairs, and it's a leadoff walk, and that will bring up the number 2 hitter in Brooke Stein. Defensively for the Pierre Governors, it will be Jack Merquan out in left, McGuire Rasky in center, Brecken Kruger is in right. It'll be Jake Mayer at third, Matt Hansen at short, Jaden Wiebe at second, Benedine at first. Andy Gordon is behind the plate, and Lincoln Keenholz will work from the stretch. And here's the first pitch to Brooke Stein, the left fielder here in game number 1. After a long pause, he'll deliver that first pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, and a day like this is really kind of a pitcher's best friend. You really have an ability to get loose. You aren't having to throw and work that extra bullpen just to get that lather and loosen up.
Runner is off with the pitch, is taken high for a ball, and the throw is on the money. Jaden Wiebe with the tag, and the first man's retired. The leadoff walk is erased by caught stealing of Andy Gordon, and it's now a 1-1 count. A great throw there by Gordon.
Yeah, and that's just a huge momentum swing. Just the ability to control the running game, keep that runner out of scoring position, and put it out on the board. Erase that leadoff walk. That's a big out for the Governors here early in the game.
The 1-1 pitch is fouled back to the netting. Is now 1-2. That kind of sets the tone now for the rest of this game, because most of the time your leadoff guy is your best base runner as well. You have him to get on base and then to advance. Any ball in the gap, you're looking for him to score. And if your leadoff guy is getting thrown out, as the 1-2 pitch is outside and it's now 2-2. But if your leadoff guy is getting thrown out in the first inning, that kind of makes you think about trying to send someone else farther down the lineup.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just what I was gonna allude at, is the fact that really kind of sets the tone for the running game for the rest of the day for the Washington Warriors. So big kudos to Andy Gordon for throwing out that base runner, and I think that really is going to limit the ability for the Washington to try to take that extra base once they get somebody on first.
That's going to be another walk issued by Keenholz, as he's walked the first 2 guys, but there is just 1 on and 1 out, as it'll bring up Gage Sharping. Uncharacteristic like for Keenholz. He's thrown 12 2/3 innings. He's allowing a walk every other inning, and he's walked the first 2 guys he's faced here, and he misses high for ball 1 to Sharping.
And it looks like when he's missing, looks like he's typically missing high, and that's just more of a release point issue more than anything. That's just a little bit of a mechanical adjustment he's going to have to make.
1-1 pitch is a swing and a miss by Sharping, and it's a 1-0 pitch, and now it's 1-1 to Gage Sharping. Again, Sharping threw in game number 2 against the Mitchell Colonels. He did not hit in game number 1 against Mitchell. Pickoff attempt and back in safely is Stein over at first base. This, like I said, you mentioned that he's kind of missing high right now with his Lincoln Keenholz, and you hope that he can find it here quickly. But as we've talked about in the past, as it counts now 2-1, that if this Pierre team, they can give you time to work out of it, but if you don't have it, they have plenty of other guys down in the bullpen. They're not playing here in Game 1 that will be absolutely ready to go at a moment's notice, as the 2-1 pitch is a swing and a miss, and it's now 2-2. Not saying that you're already going to think about warming someone up, but again, you're just a little concerned because Keenels doesn't do this very often where he walks back-to-back guys. I mean, that's just his 8th walk of the season. As here's the 2-2 pitch. That one's popped up and fouled out of play on the right side, and we'll do it again at 2-2.
And we talked about earlier in the year that a lot of times that first inning is really the inning that can be the most challenging, especially for a young pitcher. Just trying to make sure that you're fully warmed up and ready to go. And so if you can get through that first inning, then you kind of tend to settle in. You kind of tend to get into the rhythm. The sweat is kind of worked up, and you just kind of begin to have a feel for the game. You kind of have a feel for the umpire's strike zone. So that first inning really can be sometimes the biggest challenge that a lot of pitchers have.
Here's the 2-2 pitch again from Keenels to Sharping. Swinging popped up on the infield near foul territory. Lincoln Keenels and Benedine both calling for it. Keenels will make the catch, and there's now 2 down as Sharping is retired on the infield pop-up. And that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Miles Reese, the shortstop.
Yeah, one of those pop-ups where you as a broadcaster and a fan, you just kind of hold your breath because you see 2 and maybe 3 guys all come together, and you know your first thought is just record the out. The second thought is nobody get hurt, and luckily that one was high enough where nobody was really coming in at a full rate of speed. But again, kind of a play that you really don't hope doesn't go awry.
As that pitch is upstairs, is now 1-1. That actually happened today in Major League Baseball. Now, I can't remember who the batter was, but Jose Abreu and the batter end up colliding on a pop-up similar like that because the batter put his head down. Abreu had his head up, watching the ball, and they end up running into each other and without any signs of slowing down. And like you said, you don't want anybody getting hurt, and multiple people can get hurt on something like that too. And it's a good play by the Governors. The count 2-1. Runner is off with the pitch. The throw is high. The throw to his second is going to be not in time, and it bounced into Wiebe, and the count is now at 3-1 to the number 4 hitter, Miles Reese. So runner in scoring position with 2 away. Trying to work around 2 different walks, back-to-back walks in the inning. He erased one, throwing out Rippentrop, trying to steal second. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Oh, that's a 2-2 pitch and taken for strike 3, so that will retire the side. Hey, that's a gift there for the Governors, or at least a gift for me, thinking of 2 strikes, or only 1 strike. Keenels will get the strikeout. He'll work out of it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and only 1 man left on base after a half inning. We have no scores. The Pierre Governors will come to plate. Back in a minute. Your list of Pierre Governor baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Overhead Door Company of Pierre is a locally owned business specializing in the sale, service, and installation of residential and commercial garage doors. They provide quality, dependable products with constant service and the peace of mind you need. Overhead Door is one of the most recognized and most respected brand in the garage door industry. For installation and repairs, call Overhead Door Company today at 224-6200. That's 224-6200.
Wondering what to do with the pitted and rutted drive? B&B Equipment will get you covered. Wanting to put something down the ground? B&B Equipment will put a hole in your project. Need to even up that property? B&B Equipment can fill that need. B&B Equipment can deliver all your gravel and material needs. B&B Equipment is here for all your excavation needs. Contact B&B Equipment, 224-6727. A contractor here for you. That's B&B Equipment, 224-6727.
As we welcome you back here at 2 Hyde Stadium as we head to the bottom of the first of here, Governors, their lineup will look like this. Lincoln Keenels will lead things off. He is on the mound, of course. McGuire Raskey playing center field, batting second. Andy Gordon, the catcher, batting third. Benedine will bat fourth and play first base. Jake Mayer, the third baseman, batting fifth. Jack Merkwan, the left fielder, batting sixth. Matt Hansen, the shortstop, batting seventh. Jaden Wiebe, the second baseman, will bat eighth. And Brecken Kruger will round out the lineup as he is in right field for the Pierre Governors. On the mound is Andrew Evenson for Washington as he looks to go toe-to-toe with Keenels on the mound as, again, no Gage Sharping and no Tyler Boyum for Washington. But as, Greg, you talked about, this would assume that this is going to be the number 3 guy for Washington.
Yeah, they haven't played since Tuesday, and so you got to figure that Washington, again, fighting for playoff seeding, is throwing out the best arms that they have left in their bullpen. Probably, like we talked about, number 1 and 2 is who they threw on Tuesday to beat Mitchell, and so probably coming back with 3 and 4 today.
The 1-0 pitch here to Lincoln Kenols is at the letters and is now 1-1. Keno's coming in. He's batting .424 in the season. 10 runs driven in. Still 8 triples here on the year. He's closing in on not being able to catch Landon Badger for single-season triples, as that one is popped foul. Actually, now when I think about it, I think he's only 3 triples away from tying them all time. He might be close to or tied with the triples in a season. I got to go back and look a ways to figure out, to remember if that's which one it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember as well. I think it's 7 is the season.
So he does have the new record.
I think that's right. I was looking at those numbers just this week, and I think it's 7 in the season
and 11 in the career.
I think that's right.
Okay, so he's got 8, and so he's got the single season record. He can add to it with any triples here this weekend, and then he's only 3 away with 2 extra years to go to try and break the all-time career triples. Sorry, Landon Badger.
Well, if you can be mentioned in the same company as Landon Badger, that's some pretty elite company right there.
2-2 pitch is outside and is now 3-2. Evenson was wanting that 2-2 pitch to be called strike 3, but they'll have to try and retire Kenols here on the payoff pitch. Full count to the leadoff man. Here is the 3-2 pitch. Kenols will rip that one in left field for a leadoff single. And the Governors are off here with the first pitch. And we've already got a warning thrown out to the Washington bench. Not sure if it's to the coach, if to a player, but John Croakstrand, the home plate umpire, has already heard enough. And if you're going to get a warning in the bottom of the first inning,
it's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a long day. You're exactly right. That usually doesn't bode well for you if you've already got a warning in the first inning. Here's the first pitch to McGuire Rasky. That's upstairs for ball 1.
Yeah, probably the best story I have is I was watching a teener game several years ago, and the opposing team's coach got kicked out of the game in the first game, and so he actually he couldn't be in the dugout for the second game, so he was actually in the stands, was actually chirping from the stands in the second game, got thrown out of the stands in the second game.
Whew, boy, talk about a rough day. I don't know what's more rough is if you're an umpire, you have to throw them out twice, or if so rough that you got thrown out twice. Here's a 1-1 pitch from McGuire Rasky. He'll file back to the netting, and it's now 1-2.
Yeah, kind of an interesting story when you get home that night. So how'd the game go today? I don't know. I wasn't there.
I got ejected in the first game. Then I was sitting in the stands and got ejected from the second game. Boy, that one's tough. You get ejected twice. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming to McGuire Rasky. A curveball that he waited on, was able to dribble it foul down the first baseline, and we'll do it again at 1-2. I can't top that one. I've never experienced that. You know, I've umpired my fair share of Little League baseball, and thankfully I've only thrown out maybe 1 or 2 coaches in my time, but I can't top that.
Yeah, and I think every baseball coach probably deals with that at some time. We've seen coaches get ejected from time to time, but like I said, that one was one that just certainly sticks in my memory banks.
McGuire Rasky struck out swing, so there's 1 down, and it'll bring up Andy Gordon with Lincoln Kenols on at first base. Here in the bottom of the first inning, a scoreless ball game. Here's the first pitch from Evenson to Gordon. He'll swing and ground it to the third baseman. It goes off of his glove. It'll not get far enough away from him. The shortstop and Reese was able to go over to pick it up, and it's now first and second on surely what would be scored in air by the official scoring.
Yeah, and probably certainly an error, probably something where Osborne tried to take a peek, took his eye off the ball at the very last second, thinking he could probably try to start a double play, but that was the problem. Took your eye off it, just hit the heel of his glove, popped over top of him, and the Govs have runners on first and second with just one out.
First pitch to Bennett Dean's a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1 first and second here with just one down as Bennett Dean comes in. He is hitting .308 now on the season. He's driven in 6 runs, 2 triples for Dean so far in the season, 7 extra base hits in total so far in 2021. That one will bounce in. Keenels will take off for third. The throw to third. Actually, Kate Kaiser is running for Keenels, so Kaiser will take third. And might have a different runner for Gordon over at second base as well, but both runners move up 90 feet, and they are in prime scoring position here with the 1-1 count for Bennett Dean.
And Washington's going to bring the infield in. I mean, I think that gives you an indication that the coaching staff for the Warriors thinks that this is going to be a low-scoring game if you're going to try to cut that run down at the plate here in the bottom of the first inning.
The count is now 2-1 as that missed inside to Dean. Everybody's in except for the second baseman. Second baseman kind of creeping in a little bit as Dean will pop it out towards center field. That one is going to drop in for a base hit. Huska read it perfectly. He's going to try and score, but they're going to send him back over to third base. As Deegan Huska running for Andy Gordon read that perfectly, but the throw coming in from the center fielder, Rippentraub, was right on the money. Kaiser barely scored from third base. He came in to score on the RBI single for Dean. But a heads-up play from Coach Ryan Kruger, and a good job by Huska to recognize that Kruger gave the stop sign to get back to third base.
Yeah, and Huska actually slipped. He was about a third of the way down the line, actually slipped. And if Glovich, the Washington catcher, hadn't mishandled that ball, he might have had a chance at back-picking Huska back at third base.
So now here is Jake Mayer, the third baseman, first pitch swinging. That one's popped up into a couple steps into right field. The second baseman, Roken, will make the catch, and there's now 2 down. Well, the Governors do have a 1-0 lead right now. The RBI single for Bennett Dean, his 7th RBI of the season now. And it gives the Govs that lead, and, you know, with the way the infield was played in that scenario, that's, if you're the Governors, you don't want to think one's going to be enough, but, you know, Washington was playing like one run could be a difference here in this ball game. And the Governors were able to take advantage of it. So now here's Jack Merkwan, the left fielder. First pitch to him is taken for strike 1.
Yeah, and I think what I've seen so far out of Evenson, the Washington pitcher, is he likes to change speeds, and he's been pretty effective at it. Going back to the Rasky at bat, he threw a very slow breaking curveball that Rasky fouled off for strike 2, and then threw him a high fastball with pretty good velocity that Rasky went and chased for strike 3, and so now he's thrown a couple of breaking pitches to Merkwan. We'll see if he comes back with a high fastball here at 0-2.
And the 0-2 pitch is just outside and is now 1-2. And it looked like Washington was expecting that to be an ending strike call, but instead is now a 1-2 count. Catcher kind of turned a little bit to look back at the home plate umpire. Also not endearing to home plate umpires when that happens. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That one will bounce in, and the count is now 2-2. And the runner will take second in Dean, so now there are 2 runners in scoring position with 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 pitch upcoming here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, one thing you should learn as a player early on in your career is never show up the home plate umpire.
As Evenson will work from the stretch, here's the 2-2 pitch. And Merkwan will spoil it, foul out of play, and we'll do it again at 2-2. And you see it every once in a while, you see it in Major League Baseball that that catcher kind of turns around. But I would say, well, one, they're professionals, so they have a money for a fine if that ends up if they get ejected or any kind of fine. But a lot of those catchers have a good indication of where that strike zone is, and you usually see it. You know, obviously they can't see the little pitch track right there if you're watching on TV. Make that catch, and then they turn around and, well, he's got a point. But yeah, as a high school player, even a college player, probably not the best thing to do. Here's a 2-2 pitch. And Merkwan grounds it right back to the pitcher, and Evenson will underhand flip it to first, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the first inning. 1 run scores on 2 hits in the inning, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. We head to the top of the second It is a 1-0 lead for the Pierre Governors over the Washington Warriors. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Innovation. It's right here. Avera St. Mary's Hospital keeps care local for you and your family, offering comprehensive care that has earned 4 out of 5 stars by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services in hospital performance and safety. Avera St. Mary's world-class care is further supported by advanced technology, 2-way video e-consults, 3D mammography, and a state-of-the-art birthing center, so you and your family don't have to go anywhere else, because innovation lives right here in Pierre. Learn more at avera.org/news.
Your home and business are important to you, and you need quality furnace and air conditioning products and service. With a combined 50-plus years of experience, AIRTECH Heating and Cooling provides you with just that service. Call 945-0160 for sales, service, and installation of furnaces, air conditioning, and heat pumps. AIRTECH Heating and Cooling features the American Standard products. Sales, installation, and service. You want the best, and that's what you'll find at AIRTECH Heating and Cooling in Pierre.
As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium as we are set for the top of the second. Pierre Governors have that 1-0 lead. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean here on this beautiful Friday evening. Our second chance to play on a Friday night here at Hyatt Stadium during the spring high school season. But the other Friday that we played was against Brookings, and no offense to Brookings, but, well, they can't deal anything about it. But the weather wasn't very good. I mean, it was still pretty chilly that night. So this feels like a Friday night. This feels a lot better. As the 0-1 pitch will be coming to the leadoff man. He'll rope it down the line down the right field side. That one will land foul by Bryce Ronkin, the second baseman, and the count is now at 0-2.
Yeah, this is almost kind of like back to the first weekend of the season back in Rapid City. That was probably, in all honesty, probably the nicest weather we had all year up until tonight.
Well, this has been beautiful all day. Looks like we're going to have a beautiful day for baseball tomorrow as the 0-2 pitch is fouled out the other way, and we'll do it again at 0-2.
Yeah, I think the rain sounds like it's going to stay away until later on tomorrow, then into the overnight and morning hours on Sunday. So I think we're all, in all likelihood, going to have 4 games of baseball here this weekend.
0-2 pitch is outside, and it's now 1-2. A good pitch there from Keenels on an 0-2 count, and just couldn't get rocking. So now here is the 1-2 pitch from Keenels to Rockin. There's a ground ball foul, just off the hands of the first base coach, and he looks down at his left hand, saying, "Come on, hand, you got to make that play."
Yeah, you'll see the Washington batters. I mean, the kind of the book on them seems to be that they hit a lot of fly balls, and there's one right there into right field.
And Jaden Wiebe will make his way out into shallow right field to make the catch. And there's one away here in the top of the second, as that'll bring up Parker Osborne, the third baseman. Got to change that on my scorecard here.
Yeah, they at least the book on Washington seems to be that they really like to try to elevate and get balls launch angle and try to get balls over the heads of the outfielders.
That one will hang up for the left fielder Jack Merkwan to left center field, and there's a quick second out by Osborne, and it will bring up now the catcher Andrew Glovich.
And that's kind of the hot theory right now, especially at the major league level, is try to get the ball, try to elevate, and try to get that launch angle so that you can either get extra base hits or, in all likelihood, home runs.
First pitch is upstairs to Andrew Glovich, and that's interesting too. You think about high school, especially with the wood bats, that it would be a little bit more difficult to make that happen. You look in the summer, and of course, where the team that does it the most and hits a whole lot of home runs is Harrisburg. They're more of a short porch for their home ballpark, as that one will come upstairs and is now 2-1 to Glovich. But yeah, it's just you don't see a whole lot of high school teams do it. But Harrisburg, and here's Washington, another team that likes to use that launch angle and hit some fly balls. That one has popped up. Merkwan will give chase, but it will go out of play. That would have probably got out of here if that would have been fair.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you hit on the fact that wood bats in the spring, nicest day we've played so far weather-wise, but playing in a lot of cold weather, and even with as much weight training as goes on at the high school level, the fact is that high school kids just are not as matured physically as either college or professional players, and so to go to that theory of trying to elevate is kind of an interesting one, especially at the high school level during the spring season.
Here is the 2-2 pitch to Glovich again upstairs, and it's now 3-2. All-speed pitch that just didn't quite cross the zone at the letters, just above the letters, and the count is full now to the catcher Glovich. Here is the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Keenels will get his second strikeout of the ball game. A 1-2-3 inning for Keenels. We played an inning and a half, and Pierre leads Washington 1-0. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Bottom of the second, 1-0 lead here for the Pierre Governors, as it will be 7, 8, and 9 here for Pierre. Be Matt Hansen, Jaden Wiebe, and Brecken Kruger, and then back to the top of the order if any of the three get on base. John Wickler alongside Greg Dean on this beautiful Friday evening. Governors wrapping up the regular season here this weekend, as there are some games that will still be played next week, but not any for the Pierre Governors, so they will stand pat. I guess they technically may not stand pat because record-wise they will, but seed points that might fluctuate depending on if teams cross a threshold to lower or higher some of the points that they have.
Yeah, and that was an interesting note. We were watching, I think it was a Brookings game last Tuesday. They actually lost to Lincoln 11-0, and figured that we'd wake up the next morning and see Pierre jump over top of Brookings into the 4 seed, and actually Brookings not only stayed at 4, but actually the margin widened because O'Gorman had played that night, got to 500, and gave them actually 12 extra seed points.
Yeah, that's the what helps and hurts that the Governors have played O'Gorman is that it only changed as that one's fouled off of Hansen. The count is now 1-2. It will only change for one game. For a team like Brookings, who's played them twice, if they increase their threshold, that's 6 extra points that you get. For the Governors, only 3, so that can make a difference, especially when the seed points are so tight. Wiebe will poke at that one. It will go to the second baseman. Tough play. The throw to first is in time, and Matt Hansen, not Jaden Wiebe, Matt Hansen is thrown out at first base, and that'll bring up Jaden Wiebe now.
Yeah, nice play by Ronkin, the second baseman for the Warriors. Just kind of an excuse-me swing from Hansen that the ball just kind of got by the pitcher, and Ronkin playing back almost on the outfield grass had to come in a long way, and at the very last second had to scoop and kind of underhand the ball all in one motion, and just got Hansen by about a half a step.
First pitch to Wiebe is taken for strike one. Yes, this is Jaden Wiebe now batting. Matt Hansen was the one that grounded out. The count is now 1-1 here to the second baseman, Jaden Wiebe. 238 in the season, 5 doubles, 9 runs driven in for the second baseman, who has put his stamp on being in the lineup just about every game here for the Governors, as that one will miss low and is now 2-1. He was kind of in that number 4 spot for a while, but now he's moved to the 8 spot, but a good spot for him to be at, too, because you like where you get some consistency at the number 8 spot, and those guys from 5 through 9 that all change except for Wiebe, as it counts now 3-1. Weeby kind of might extend an inning to the number 9 guy, or might get on base here for a bunt attempt if he's leading things off. There's a lot of different options with Weeby being at the number 8 spot, and as good of a hitter as he's been, as he draws a walk, a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head, John. He really kind of has just taken over that second base position, and certainly does not look like a sophomore out there. I mean, he's looked very comfortable, has really just been very comfortable, and both in the field and at the plate, played with a lot of maturity out there.
First pitch to Brecken Kruger is taken for strike 1. With 1 down here in the bottom of the second inning, Kruger coming in batting .381 the season, still looking for that first extra base hit, but he does have 2 RBIs so far in the season. Another of the Pierre Governor sophomores says the 0-1 pitch. As the runner was off, that one's fouled away. And the count is now at 0-2 here to Kruger.
A little bit of hit and run on right there, and something we've seen the Governors use a fair amount of in the past. Haven't seen it quite as much this year. Maybe just because you've got a little bit of a younger team, maybe not quite as adept with the bat control as maybe some of the past teams have been, with a little more experience in the lineup.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Kruger swings and misses, and there's now 2 down, and that'll bring back to the top of the order to Lincoln Keenels, who had a leadoff single in the bottom of the first, came around to score. Right now the game's only run on the RBI single from Bennett Dean. But 2 down now in the bottom of the second. See if the pitcher can help himself out.
We'll see if Coach Ryan Kruger over at third base wants to put Weeby in motion, try to get him into scoring position with 2 outs with the leadoff batter Keenholz at the plate.
Here's the first pitch. That will bounce in for ball 1. And here's a low-risk, high-reward situation, because if Weeby gets thrown out, he's still got the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the third. If he's on second, well, now you get a base hit and you drive him in. You don't have to shoot the gap anywhere. You're exactly right that I would expect Weeby to, at some point in the at-bat, here he goes, takes off for second here. He's taken for strike 1. The throw to second is not in time, and a steal for Jaden Weeby, and now he is in scoring position, as Greg called it. It's safe at second now. Base hit brings him in.
Yeah, and you saw Weeby in the Kruger at bat take off, and so you knew that the coaching staff had the ideas of putting Weeby in motion at some point, and like you said, it just made sense at some point in this at bat to try to get him to second. And worst case scenario, he gets thrown out. You lead off with Lincoln Keenholz to start the third.
Count is 2-1 now to Keenholz. Evenson will come from the stretch. Here is the 2-1 pitch, and that one is over. And it's now 2-2.
Evenson's got that really nice slow curveball, and he really seems to have good control of that, and really mixes it well in with his fastball, and really has the Governor hitters kind of just a little bit on their heels, and just the way that he's able to change speeds.
He misses with the 2-2 pitch outside, and it's now 3-2. You get a fastball like he has, and you throw a real slow breaking ball. That is hard for hitters to adjust to at any point. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That one is grounded. Foul, went off the chalk in front of the bag at third. Coach Ryan Kruger trying to say that it was a fair ball, but John Krokstrand right on top of it. Correct call is, we can see it from right here too. Very close, but a good call there by John Krokstrand.
Yeah, the ball actually drew chalk about as it hit the ground about 2/3 of the way down, but was moving and curling to the left, and was fouled by about a foot, and Krokstrand right on top of the play with the foul call, right call.
3-2 pitch. That one's grounded to the left side, past the diving shortstop into left field. Weeby will round third. He will come in to score. The Governors lead 2-0 on the RBI single for the pitcher Lincoln Keenholz.
And the Governors playing small ball for that second run, a walk, a steal, and then a base hit. So the Governors get a run on just one hit and go up 2-0 here in the bottom of the second.
And again, that steal by Weeby is a big one too, because he only gets to third base at best if he does not take off at any point in that at bat. And now with Cade Kaiser running for Lincoln Keenholz, it'll be McGuire Rasky. As the first pitch is bounced in the dirt, Kaiser reads it right. The throw to second. He is sliding in safe, and he is now in scoring position. Good jump there by Kaiser off the pitch that was in the dirt, and a good play by the catcher Glovich. There was nothing I don't think anything he could do different. Kaiser just read it right and is now at second base with a 1-0 count, and McGuire Rasky has a chance with a base hit to drive him in. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Evenson. Rasky will pop it up on the left side. The third baseman, Osborne, going over into foul territory. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the second. Governors get another run on 1 hit, so no errors, and 1 man left on base. We have played 2 innings, and the Governors have a 2-0 lead. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Hey, it's Julia from Milwaukee Federal Credit Union, letting you know that our recreational special is back again, with terms up to 10 years, no payments for 90 days, and rates as low as 2.4% APR. Apply online or stop in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre and let Jameson or I get you started.
People helping people. Hawaii Federal Credit Union.
Pierre Sports Center is your local Ranger Boat and Mercury Outboard dealer. They're a must-see for your Ranger boat needs. See their selection of Mercury outboard motors for more power. Pierre Sports Center can help you with financing and other boating needs. Need service for your boat or trailer to keep you going? Pierre Sports Center is your one-stop shop. Pierre Sports Center, Ranger Boats, and Mercury Outboard. A combination that can't be beat. Pierre Sports Center, 1440 North Garfield Avenue in Pierre. Or give them a call, 224-5546.
As we welcome you back here as we head to the top of the third inning, Governors have a 2-0 lead over Washington.
A couple of other scores from around the state in other games going on in Class A baseball tonight. In the bottom of the second, Brookings is leading Rapid City Central 9-0. That in the bottom of the second. And then also in the bottom of the second, Sioux Falls O'Gorman leads Huron 5-1.
Lincoln Keno's on for his third inning of work as he'll have 8, 9, and 1 to deal with here for Washington.
A little later start tonight at 6 o'clock. Mitchell and Yankton have a doubleheader that will start in Yankton.
So here is Jack Nesci as he will step to the plate as we talk about some names that are a little bit more difficult to pronounce. We're going to go with Nesci, right?
Nesci.
Yeah. As the first baseman will swing and miss at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Apologize to the Nesci family or the Nesci family. Yeah.
If he were Scottish, we'd probably call him Nessie.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, as that one is out towards right field. Brecken Kruger, he'll glide over to his left. He'll make the catch, and the leadoff man is retired here to open up the top of the third inning. The funniest thing is that video of – gosh, now I'm blanking on where it's from, but all those guys are going, it's English guys all about to go to a bar. They say, when everybody's allowed to go back to the bar after the pandemic's over, and you get those guys singing. I cannot remember where it's from. As the first pitch is a swing and a miss to Andrew Evenson, the pitcher. But that's just makes me, you said something about Scottish, that makes me think of those guys. They're all got the English accents, and they're all singing something that they're. As that one's fouled back, and it's now 0-2. That they're excited, and that's they say just me and the guys going back to the bar once the pandemic's over.
Well, there's just something entertaining about English bar songs. I mean, they used.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That will bounce in as now 1-2. Yeah, I just can't remember where that's from, but yeah, I've seen that several times, and it's every time the CDC comes out with something else that makes it a little bit closer and closer to the end of this thing. I keep seeing that video resurface every time as it counts now 2-2.
Well, we talked a little bit in between innings that Lincoln Keenholz 39 pitches through 2 complete innings. You'd like to see him get just a couple of quick innings to try to get back on that 15 pitch per inning pace and try to get through at least 6 complete, if not, possibly throw a complete game and just take a little pressure off the Governor bullpen with these 4 games in a 24-hour span this weekend.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Evenson. Almost looked like it went behind him, and the count's now 3-2.
Yeah, curveball that Evenson looked and kind of started to buckle and then kind of broke in, just missed the inside corner.
3-2 pitch misses low, and it's going to be the third walk issued by Keenholz, and that will bring up the top of the order in Dylan Rippentrop, who walked his first trip. He was thrown out at second. I believe we're going to have a courtesy runner coming in to run for the pitcher in Evenson. I do not have their roster in front of me, and their scorecard, I believe, did not have the subs to it. Maybe it did. It should have, but
well, let's see if we can pull up their game changer page.
As here is Lincoln Keenels. That will, with the runner on first with Rippentrop. The first pitch, swing and a miss to Rippentrop, and it's 0-1. There's a runner on first here with one down, the top of the third, a 2-0 lead for the Pierre Governors. RBI singles from Bennett Dean and Lincoln Keenels have gotten the Govs that 2-0 lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Rippentrop. That one's upstairs and is now 1-1.
Ironically, there's not a number 2 on their game changer roster, so I guess he will be known as the unknown, unnamed base runner.
Yeah, the unknown courtesy runner here for Washington. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's popped up, foul. It will stay in play for Andy Gordon. He'll give chase, and he'll run out of room, hit the top of the fencing. It says "Welcome to Hyde Stadium," and is now 1-2.
Yeah, good effort by Gordon. Andy, we talked about Andy Gordon caught a lot coming up through the system, but his bat was a valuable piece that especially at the post 8 and high school level that the coaching staff wanted to get into the order, so they found a place for Andy. First it was at first base a couple of years ago, and then eventually kind of landed at third base, and he's just a great athlete, filled those positions well, and now the Governors are looking to put him back behind the plate, and he's going back to his roots.
As the Rippentrop swings and misses, so there is his third strikeout for Lincoln Keenels. Brooks Stein will swing and miss the first pitch. It's 0-1. He also drew a walk. He was left stranded at second base in that top of the first inning. Runner on first with 2 down here in the top of the third. Check over at first, and diving back in safely is the Warrior courtesy runner. And the count is now at 0-1, still at 0-1 here to Brooks Stein. Yeah, really, you go up and down all the way to the majors, all the way down to, well, I guess probably not T-ball because everybody gets to play. The 0-1 pitch, that one is out towards center field as McGuire Rasky will jog in. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the top of the third inning. I'll finish that thought going into the bottom of the third as Andy Gordon will lead things off in that bottom of the third. Governors lead 2-0 here after 2.5. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wegner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wegner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, WegnerAuto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wegner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to WegnerAuto.com or stop by Wegner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
Evermore Boutique, where fashion doesn't have to break the bank. See them for men's, women's, and children's clothing, shoes, accessories, and so much more. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from noon to 7, Saturdays from 11 to 6, and Sundays from noon to 5. Visit Evermore Boutique, located at 104 South Pierre Street in Pierre, or give them a call today, 605-494-0194. That's Evermore Boutique in Pierre.
As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium, as we have the bottom of the third, it will be 3, 4, and 5. Andy Gordon, Bennett Dean, and Jake Mayer. If anybody reaches base, it'll be Jack Merkwan to come to be up to the plate for the Governors. John Wickler alongside Greg. I love everything about English-speaking songs. Dean, as always entertained by the English accent songs. Andy Gordon will lead things off. He is 0 for 1. He reached on an air and ended up, Huska was running for him and ended up being stranded at third base in that bottom of the first inning. To go back to that thought, and not about the English accents, but to go back to the thought about Andy Gordon, is that from Major League Baseball all the way down, if you can hit, they're going to find a place for you to play at some point in the field or as a DH, but you will have a place in that lineup if you can hit the ball. That's the one thing. If you play good defense, you might not still get in the lineup just because you can play good defense. Maybe you'll get in later in the game. But if you can hit the ball, they will find a spot for you at somewhere, a position, and also in the batting order.
Yeah, and in a game that's built around failure, especially offensive failure, if you can be the difference between hitting 220 and 300, I mean that at the major league level, that kind of equates to 1, maybe 2 hits a week, and so the margin is pretty small, but if you can be that margin, that's how you get in the order.
Count is 2-1 here to Gordon. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a foul, tipped back, and is now 2-2. Gordon's coming in here as, we talk about how his bat has been, but he is hitting .333 on the season with 7 doubles, and he has driven in a team-high 19 runs for the Governors. 2-2 pitch is outside and is now 3-2.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy for coaches over the last couple of years to just plug Andy Gordon's name into the middle of that order, whether it's the post-8 or the high school order. He just continues to just be very steady, and he's going to be he will be one of the graduation losses for this team next year, and is going to leave a hole just because of the fact that he can play so many positions, but because he's been so steady in the middle of that order.
3-2 pitch that will come in and hit Gordon, and he'll make his way over to first. And leadoff man is aboard here in the bottom of the third, as it'll bring up Bennett Dean, who's got the RBI single that gave the Govs a 1-0 lead. He's 1 for 1 so far. Huska will come in to run for Gordon over at first base.
Yeah, and for as good a job as Evenson has done in terms of changing speeds and kind of keeping the Governor hitters off pace, he just threw his 52nd pitch, and he's not even recorded an out here in the third inning.
Huska will take off for second. The throw to second is in time, and they'll get gunned down Huska. Bennett Dean showed bunt and pulled it back, and then Huska was thrown out trying to take second, and there's now 1 down here in the bottom of the third inning.
I didn't get a chance to see what kind of jump Huska got, but the throw was there well before Huska got to the bag, and so a nice job by Glovich, the Washington catcher.
The 0-1 pitch is taken for strike 2, and it's now an 0-2 count here to Bennett Dean. So now there's nobody on base here. 1 down the bottom of the third. The 0-2 pitch from Evenson to Dean is high and outside, and it's now a 1-2 count. And you have a man warming up in the left field bullpen for Washington. Can't see his number, and if it did, really doesn't matter because don't really know. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one is outside, and it's now 2-2. Evenson, so far those 2 innings, now a 2 1/3 innings, giving up those 2 runs on 3 hits. 1 Washington error so far. Here's the 2-2. Dean will wait on that off-speed pitch, and he'll foul it the other way out of play, and remains at 2-2.
Yeah, and like we said, Evenson up pushing close to 60 pitches through 2 1/3, and so it's no surprise that the Warriors are actually starting to work their bullpen here in the third.
There's a swing and a miss by Dean, and it is now 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning, and that'll bring out Jake Mayer, the third baseman. Jake wants me to call him Jakey today. I haven't done it so far, but here, Jakey Mayer up to the plate.
Yeah. I think for a lot of us that have been around Jake for a number of years, having him known as Jakey is not a surprise.
I was gonna say I'm not surprised because that's all I hear him being said. But yeah, he wants me to. I guess I'll have to start calling him Jakey Mayer from now on. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Mayer, and that one misses inside, and it's now 2-0. He said his family would love it to hear me being called Jakey Mayer, and I get a thumbs up from Mom, so that's a good deal. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one will bounce in. It's now 3-0. As on deck is Jack Merkwan, and then it'll be Matt Hansen, but there's 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. Again, man warming up for Washington, the left field bullpen. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That one will be taken for strike 1, so the count is now at 3-1. Still good hitters count here for Jakey.
Yeah, we'll see if the Govs can generate a little offense here with 2 out and nobody on. It would be a nice stroke if they could play to run here plate a run here with 2 outs and try to extend this lead, this 2-0 lead that they have on the board right now.
Mayer does draw a 2-out walk, and that'll bring now Jack Merkwan to the plate with 2 away. So there's that little bit of life that the Govs have in this bottom of the 3rd inning to try and add to their 2-0 lead. Those 2-out walks, those are ones that start to drive coaches nuts. Really, walks at any point in the game will drive you nuts, but there are certain times where it drives you a little bit more crazy. The gray hair for any coach is probably most of the time from walks.
Well, and what it does is with 2 outs, you've just extended the inning by multiple pitches. And again, we've already talked about the fact that Evenson's pitch count is already starting to run a little high, and so every pitch that you put on his arm right now is that much quicker that Washington's going to have to go into their bullpen.
So now here's the 1-1 pitch from Evenson to Merkwan. He'll swing and miss, and it's now 1-2. Tied him up in knots. I think he was expecting maybe a now speed pitch and couldn't quite get the bat to the ball. As the count is now 1-2 here to Merkwan. On deck is Matt Hansen. Merkwan's 0 for 1. He grounded back to the pitcher in his first at-bat. Here is the 1-2 pitch. That one's grounded to the left side. A high hop for the shortstop, Reese. A throw off balance is in time, and that retires the side. So the 2-out walk doesn't matter. Or does not come to pass. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. It adds more pitches to Evenson. But no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After 3 innings, Pierre has a 2-0 lead over Washington. Back in a minute. Listen to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates, at your service, at your side, with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
BankWest Insurance has the expertise and resources to deliver personalized service and customized solutions. As an independent agency, we shop dozens of companies to get you the best coverage at the best price. As your trusted choice for insurance coverage, we promise to go the extra mile so you can rest assured your loved ones and your assets are protected. Contact your local agent with BankWest Insurance to work for you.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, may go down in value, equal opportunity provider.
As we welcome you back here, top of the 4th, John Winkler alongside Greg Dean, 2-0 lead for the Pierre Governors, as it will be 3, 4, and 5. Gage Sharping, Miles Reese, and Bryce Rockin. And if anybody reaches base, it'll be back to Parker Osborne. So here for the Governors, with that 2-0 lead so far, Lincoln Keenel's out for his 4th inning of work. And again, leading off is Sharping, who popped out in his first at-bat. Popped out to Keenel's on the foul line, on the first base foul line, to open up his plate appearances here in this doubleheader. Sharping's a big dude. Here's the 0-1, or the first pitch to him. He'll line that one. He's going to get extra bases to open up to the top of the 4th inning. That one's going to roll all the way to the corner of the wall. Merkwan played it right off the wall, so it's a leadoff double for Sharping. And it'll bring up now Miles Reese with the first hit of the ball game for the Washington Warriors. And Miles Reese, who struck out looking in his first at-bat, will have a chance with a runner in scoring position for just the second time since Stein stole second back in the top of the 1st inning.
Yeah, and I think the first time, if I'm correct, first time the Warriors have had a runner in scoring position today.
Second time. Yep, Stein stole second in the top of the 1st, yep. Okay. So, but a chance.
Short-lived.
Yeah, it was short-lived, and there's already 2 outs when that happened as well. So they have plenty of opportunities to drive in Sharping as the first pitch misses for ball 1 to Miles Reese. Again, struck out looking in his first at-bat. And Bryce Rockin is on deck. See how they want to play this to move Sharping over. That pitch is upstairs. It is now 2-0.
Yeah, the Governors have the infield, even with the bag at the corners, kind of middle deep in the middle. So probably looking to try to keep the runner at second base if at all possible.
That one's popped up, foul on the right side. It'll get out of play, and it's now 2-1 as it hits the top of the press box. Nowhere close to us.
Yep.
But hey, And even Jakey said today, too, that he's going to try and hit a foul ball up here for me to catch it. And I've been trying for years, and it just doesn't happen for me. Here's a 2-1 pitch. That one will miss slow, and it's now 3-1. The first time I get a foul ball up here, I bet you I'll probably miss it, and it'll be the most devastating thing to me. And you might have to take over doing play-by-play if that happens. I might turn my mic off and walk away. Because it's all I want. That's all I want. 3-1 pitch. It's swinging a miss, and it's now 3-2. And when I get it and I don't make the play, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
You realize that's a lot of pressure you're putting on me.
Well, a lot of pressure on you?
Yeah.
I guess that's true, too. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That one's a line foul, so you should be my biggest fan to get a foul. That I make the play if I get a foul ball.
I root for you all the time.
You never root for me to fail. Count is full here to the number 5 hitter, the cleanup hitter, Miles Reese. Here is the 3-2 pitch. That one is lined to left field. Merkwan will come in. He'll make the catch. Retreating back to second will be Sharping, and there's one down here in the top of the 4th inning. I appreciate that you root for me. I always root for you, too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mutual admiration society.
So it'll bring up Bryce Rockin, who popped out to Wiebe in the top of the second, lead off the top of the second. Everybody always, well, I guess nobody probably wonders, nobody probably cares. But Greg and I do get along really well. We don't just get along for the sake of, for the radio, as the first pitch is taken for strike one. We probably don't get paid enough to not get along with each other and still do it. But the count is 0-1. Well, we don't put on a show for the radio. We're really good friends.
Yep. Yeah, we shared some long car rides together, especially during the last several football seasons.
Right, and if you're not friends with someone, there's no way you would be friends after a long car ride. It was a swing and a miss by Rock, and is now 0-2. And here is the 0-2 pitch. That one is taken for strike 3, and another strikeout for Lincoln Keenels, and there's now 2 down for Parker Osborne.
As anybody knows, any away game is a long car ride, regardless of what direction you're going.
That is true, yeah. A 2-hour drive is our shortest drive for a road game of any kind. As Lincoln Keenels will deliver the first pitch to Parker Osborne. That's grounded back to Keenels, went off of his glove, so it's going to be a tough play for Wiebe. Bare hands, throw to first, is blocked up by Dean. So it's now going to be first and third. That's going to be scored a base hit for Parker Osborne. And it will bring up now Andrew Glovich with 2 away.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays that actually it's a break for Washington that Keenhol's got a glove on that ball, because if he doesn't get a glove on that ball and slow it down, Wiebe has a much better angle and a much better chance at making that play. But when he slowed it down, Wiebe had to come in about 2 or 3 extra steps and just kind of disrupted the timing on the play. And with that, for the first time today, Washington has 2 runners on, runners at the corners and 2 out.
And that was a great job by Wiebe just to make it close, to make that bare hand, and nearly made the accurate throw as that one's ripped foul down the left field line, and it's now 1-1. It's Andrew Glovich who turned on that pitch, but didn't keep it fair. Count is even at the ball and strike. He's 0-for-1 with a strikeout. He struck out swinging to end the top of the second. And Keenels would love to get his 5th strikeout if he can throw a couple more past Glovich. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Glovich. There's a strike, the throw to second. The tag is applied. They got him out of second. No need to strike him out. A throw from Andy Gordon. The tag from the shortstop, Matt Hansen, to retire the side. And the Governors remain on top 2-0 after 3.5. Gordon's got 2 thrown out at second here today. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our top priority is providing value to our members. Since 1941, we have helped our neighbors buy homes and vehicles, finance their farms and ranches, insure their assets, and retire comfortably. From Custer to Sioux Falls, we live and work in our communities, and we treat our members like family. Visit bhfcu.com to learn more about how you can join. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by NCUA.
Home Care Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. Home Care Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers a full range of in-home support services to our area. For more information about Home Care Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. Home Care Services, 224-2273.
As we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, Governors lead 2-0 thanks to Andy Gordon throwing out his second runner in the ball game here this evening. And Greg will have Matt Hansen, who made that play, and Jane Wiebe batting second. We couldn't have a better segue to talk about that play, and Brecken Kruger will be the third hitter in the inning. But those two guys, Hansen and Wiebe, the throw from Gordon was a good one, and it gave Wiebe and Hansen a chance to make a play because Wiebe was also there to potentially make a play.
Yeah, and Wiebe comes in. He's 3 or 4 steps in front of second base. He's actually like the cutoff man in case the runner from third breaks for home on the throw. But a big amount of communication has to take place between Hansen, the shortstop, and Wiebe, the second baseman, because Hansen's got to read the runner and make the decision about whether the throw should come all the way through to second base or if Wiebe should cut it. And he's got to make that call in fairly short order so that Wiebe knows what to do, and then he's got to be able to. Then Hansen's got to be able to figure out not only where the ball is, but then catch the ball, put the tag on the runner. So lots of really good plays and decisions made on that play that got the Governors out of that top of the fourth inning.
And Hansen roped a line drive off the glove of Ronkin, who at second base, who was leaping to try and make the grab, and it goes into right field for a base hit. So the leadoff man is aboard once again here for the Governors. Their fourth hit now on the afternoon or in the evening, as Wiebe will ground the first pitch off the third baseman's glove of Osborne into left field, and Osborne has picked up his second error here in the ball game. 2 errors for the Governors, and that is Bronson Mowat, the third baseman. No, he's out in left field. There you go. Okay.
Sorry. Didn't mean to confuse you. Finally was able to see a number on the guy warming up in the Washington bullpen, and was just eager to relay that information.
Brecken Kruger will show bunt, will pull it back, taken for strike one as the curveball found the zone, and it's 0-1 to the number 9 hitter Brecken Kruger, who's 0-for-1 with a strikeout.
Yeah, and a good situation here for the Governors, number 9 hitter Kruger, but Kruger's probably one of the, if not the best bunter on the team, so a perfect bunting situation right here.
Kruger will drop down the bunt when it goes right back to the pitcher, even so the throw to third is in time for one. The throw to first base is going to be wild one, and it's going to go out of play as it went up above and got out of play, so it'll be second and third here with one down. So the sacrifice doesn't work, but it still kind of works. So you still got 2 guys in scoring position, but you just find a different way because it would be now a third air charge to the third baseman Osborne, and Brecken Kruger will have a fielder's choice, so he's still 0-for-2.
Yeah, and we had a little activity down in the Pierre bullpen. Bennett Dean starting to loosen up so that he's ready as Lincoln Keenholz is at 69 pitches through 4 complete innings. So at this rate, you got to figure that Keenholz probably, you hope he can get through 6. If he gets a quick inning or 2, maybe he can get to that complete game, but we'll see. And it looks like we're going to potentially have a pitching change for the Washington Warriors.
And we will tell you those changes after this minute break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre knows what that sound is. It's baseball season. They also know that means it's grilling season. Sioux Nation has the Green Mountain Grill choices that you need for those hot dogs and burgers for tailgating. And let's be honest, you know there will be a steak in there too. Visit Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre and see their selection of grills. While you're there, also pick up some seasonings for your grilling needs. Visit Sioux Nation at 504 Deadwood Street, Fort Pierre.
Bronson Mowat now is on the mound here for the Washington Warriors as the Governors have two guys in scoring position with one down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Joe Winkler alongside Greg Dean, and is the top of the order for the Governors to try and extend their 2-0 lead. And the guy who's got one RBI right now is Lincoln Keenels, be the first man to greet him here with one down. So as I said, the sacrifice for Kruger, as they're going to actually intentionally walk Keenels, so the bases are now going to be loaded here with one down. That might be our first intentional walk of the year that we've seen. So the bases are loaded with one down, and that'll bring up McGuire Rasky. With now Lincoln Keenels, actually Cade Kaiser will run for Keenels, but the sacrifice that Kruger had wasn't a successful one because they threw out Hansen at third, but the throw to first trying to get a double play ended up getting away, so it ended up being second and third anyway, as Rasky will take ball one here with the bases loaded and one down the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, so it was successful. It was not successful, but it ended up working into being basically the situation that the Governors wanted anyway. You ended up with runners at second, third with one out. So.
Everybody, I don't think anybody likes that scenario because the third baseman and Osborne picked up an error. Kruger goes 0 for 1 in the at-bat instead of getting a sacrifice, so everybody doesn't like the fact that happened. But it still ended up being basically the same thing as Rasky will rip this one into center field for a base hit. One run will come in to score. Kruger's going to round to third as it was booted by the center fielder, and it's going to be runners at second and third with 2 runs coming in on the 2 RBI single from McGuire Rasky and an air charge to the center fielder Rippentrop. And the Governors now lead 4-0.
Yeah, and just a good piece of hitting by McGuire Rasky. Just took a ball right back up the middle. Didn't try to elevate it. Just hit it on the nose, and then once it got over the shortstop's head, Rippentrop booted it and actually allowed a second run to score. And so the Governors now up 4-0, and with runners at second and third, Andy Gordon at the plate, have a chance to really break this thing open here in the bottom of the fourth.
First pitch is missed to Andy Gordon. Here is the 1-0 pitch. That one's outside and is now 2-0. Last thing for Washington that you want to see is having 2 guys in scoring position for this guy to come to the plate, who's looking for at least RBI number 20 on the season in the 21 games. As that one's grounded to the left side, that one's going to be backhanded by the shortstop. Kaiser did not come in to score, and the throw to first is in time. So they do get, with the infield drawn in, they do get Gordon retired without a run coming in, and now there's 2 away for Bennett Dean.
Yeah, nice dig by Nesty over at first base for the Warriors. A ball that was low and off to the home plate side at first base, but nice dig out of the dirt.
First pitch to Dean. That one's ripped up the middle. That's through for a base hit. 1 run will come in to score. Rasky will be held up at third. The throw will become wild in, and now nearly turning and trying to score as Rasky, but Dean will get to second base, so the throw coming in. And it's a 5-0 lead for the Governors, and it's still second and third here with 2 away.
Yeah, and the Warriors caught a break there because Mowat, the pitcher, was not backing up home plate. The throw comes all the way home, kind of airmailed over the catcher, but the ball actually hit off of the facing on the backstop and bounced right back to the catcher, and that's what kept Rasky at third base.
So here's Jakey Mayer with 2 away. Runners at second and third. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. And he's got himself a chance here. Still 2 guys in scoring position. Second and third here with 2 away. Governors lead 5-0. 3 runs have already scored here in the bottom of the fourth. And Mayer trying to extend that now a handful lead. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's grounded to the left side. Be fielded by the third baseman, Osborne. The throw is a wild one, and Mayer will avoid the tag as he got to first base. That one looked like it might have hurt Mayer, but or maybe he's just getting up saying, I just made a great play over there. As his run will come in to score, and we'll have time called. And we'll have runners at first and third. And are we going to have a argument here with the first base umpire?
Yeah, the Washington head coach is coming out. wasn't in any real hurry to come out and protest the call, but comes out to get his 2 cents in, asking for the field umpire to ask for a little help because the throw came in and Mayer kind of ended up sliding into first base. So actually, John Crookstrand, the home plate umpire, might have had the better angle to see if the tag actually was made or not.
Up here, I did not think that the tag was made, so the umpires did talk about it. They do not change the call. The runner ends up scoring, and I believe that would be another error charge to the third baseman, Osborne. That would be his third error of the inning. And it's now
he's fourth overall.
Yeah, fourth overall. So the error will be charged to Osborne. And it's now first and third. Dean's over at third base as the first pitch to Jack Merkwan is taken for strike one.
With runners at first and third, this will be an interesting decision, strategy decision about whether they start Mayer at first and try to get him into scoring position with 2 outs or not.
A 6-0 lead here for the Pierre Governors. Mayer is off to second, and the ball got away from the catcher in Glovich. There's no chance to get Mayer, so the count is now even at a ball and a strike, and it's second and third again here for Pierre.
Yeah, and Coach Ryan Kruger picked the right pitch to send Mayer because the ball squirted away from Glovich, the catcher, and made an easy steal for Jake Mayer going into second base. And again, Governors continue to keep the pressure on, having runners at second and third, both in scoring position with 2 outs. A base hit here really breaks this game open.
So it's a 2-1 count here to Jack Merkwan. The 2-1 pitch comes inside, nearly gets him, and the count is now at 3-1. Merkwan is 0 for 2. He grounded out his 2 trips back to the pitcher and also to the shortstop. As the 3-1 pitch to Merkwan. And that one will hit him. And he will make his way to first, and the bases are now loaded here with 2 away to bring up the shortstop, Matt Hansen, who led off the inning with a base hit. He's actually thrown out at third. He's one of the 2 outs that have been recorded here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
And Jack Merkwan probably will feel that one when he's running the 800 tomorrow. or the 100 and 300 hurdles, I guess, is his specialty.
First pitch to Hansen comes inside, and it's now 1-0. Looked like Mowat was a little off balance when he started the throw home, almost like he was about to almost have a balk, like he was leaning too far on his back foot. 1-0 pitch. That one's over, and it's now 1-1.
Now, Mowat doesn't really come a true sidearm, but he does drop down into almost a two-thirds arm slot, so that ball probably has some natural movement away from a right-handed hitter.
1-1 pitch, and Hansen will shoot it to center field, and it nearly got over the head of the center fielder Rippentraub, but he will make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the 4th. 10 guys come to the plate here for the Governors. They score 4 times in the inning. They take advantage of 3 errors by Washington, and they leave 2 guys on base. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Governors have a 6-0 lead. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
This is the life. Sitting here, sipping lemonade, basking in the warm sun, and admiring the beauty and the solitude of my very own landscaped backyard. You know, I wasn't sure, but I was so glad when I made the call to Andy at Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping to finally have the work done. Calling Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping was probably one of the best and the easiest decisions I've ever made.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, 280-4440. That's 280-4440.
As we welcome you back here to Hyde Stadium, it is going to be a 6-0 lead here for the Pierre Governors. As Washington, I said had 4 runs, or the Governors had 4 runs on 3 hits. Washington had 4 errors in the inning, 2 guys left on base, and potentially even a 5th there with that throw that came home on Bennett Dean's RBI single as the first pitch is taken outside for ball 1 to the number 7 hitter in Andrew Glovich, who is back up to the plate after he was the Parker Osborne was thrown out trying to steal second. 0-1 pitch is, or 1-0 pitch is ripped foul. It's going to get back into fair territory. So Jack Merkwad will have to make the play to get out back into the third base coach's hands. The count is now 1-1 to Glovich, who struck out swinging his first at bat. Here is the 1-1 pitch. That one is on the outside. It's now 1-2.
Yeah, and you could just see on that swing on that last pitch from Keenholz that Glovich hit foul. Big uppercut swing. I mean, you could see that he was really trying to move that launch angle and try to elevate a pitch like that. And so something we've seen a lot from the Warriors today is a lot of fly balls into the outfield.
Count is now 2-2 here. Keenholz to Glovich. Swing in a foul tip at the plate. Glovich barely got a piece of it, and it remains at 2-2. This is 7-8-9 here at the top of the fifth inning, and as many pitches as Keenholz has thrown here in the ball game, you would think that they'd be going through already starting to go through the third time of the order, but they have not gotten all the way through 2 times yet, as that one is upstairs. It's now 3-2, but the count that we have right now is a big reason why that pitch count is where it is. A 3-2 count quite often against these hitters. And credit to Washington fouling off pitches to get it to a 3-2. And a leadoff walk is issued to Glovich.
Yeah, and Keenholz has gone to a lot of 3-ball counts today. I mean, may not necessarily show up in the box score. That's his 4th walk on the day, but he has gone to a number of 3-ball counts. Again, just drives up that pitch count. And so for the Governors, I think what right now Keenholz is at 76 pitches on the day. You'd like to see him get through at least 6 complete and then try to finish the game out with one of your bullpen arms. That would be the ideal situation for the Governors right now.
Pickoff attempted back in safely. Looks like that's number 6, Cale Swanson, that is running for the pitcher or the catcher in Glovich. So here is Jagneschi with nobody out, so 1 on here in the top of the 5th. First pitch, swinging, pops it up, foul. Gordon, will he have enough room? And it goes off the fencing. Stayed in play, but went off the fencing, so no chance. And the first pitch is fouled back, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, and just right now, if you're Lincoln Keenholz, you just wanna keep throwing strikes. You're up 6-0. You really want to try to avoid the walks. Just, you want to keep that pitch count down. You want to keep the runners off base. If they're going to get on base, make them earn their way on. And so just go up, challenge the hitters, throw strikes.
0-1 pitch. That one's fouled back, and it's now 0-2 here to SG. He flew out to the right fielder and Brecken Kruger in his first at bat. That was back at the top of the 3rd inning. 6-0 is our score here in the top of the 5th. In Game 1 of our doubleheader between Pierre and Washington. We're back here tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock for a 1-3 start against Lincoln. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball that stays upstairs. And it's now 1-2.
And again, when Keenholz has missed, he's tended to miss up today. And with a team that likes to hit fly balls, that could be something that gets you into a little bit of a dangerous situation. So far, Keenholz has been able to avoid that situation so far.
Pickoff attempt and back in safely again is Swanson. You think Lincoln's keeping a close eye on how these games go and who's throwing as well for the Pierre Governors?
Sioux Falls, Lincoln.
Yes. Yeah, well, yeah. I think Lincoln Keenholz is a 1-2 pitch, is missed, is now 2-2. He is definitely keeping an eye on this game and knowing who's pitching. But yeah, Sioux Falls, Lincoln, they are probably keeping a close eye on this ball game. You got me there, Greg.
Well,
you got that smart wit about you. There's a swing and a miss. There's another strikeout for Lincoln Keenholz. That'll be his 5th of the ball game, and there's now 1 down here in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, because I thought for a second, yeah, of course Lincoln is watching this game closely. but
I guess if the score is the other way around, we can maybe say it a little bit differently. No, yeah, he's got 5 strikeouts, does Lincoln Keenholz. That's going to be a little tough as the first pitch is taken for strike 1. I say, the first pitch from Lincoln to Lincoln, you're not going to really know. Well, I guess you will know because Lincoln won't be pitching tomorrow. Keenholz, that is.
True.
Yeah, you have to. I could not call Lincoln Keenholz Lincoln at all tomorrow. Otherwise, it'll confuse everybody.
Yep.
I'll probably confuse everybody anyway.
Well,
that's been my talent.
Well, if you get a ground ball, he assuming he's here. I mean, with the ESD track meet going on tomorrow, and Lincoln Keenholz being one of the top jumpers in the state, we presume he will be here tomorrow.
as Matt Hansen will make his way out into foul territory. Long run for him. He'll make the catch. That's a heck of a play there from Hansen. And there's now 2 down. Made it look easy as that one was popped up. That's the near no man's land out there in foul territory on the left side. And the shortstop took charge to make the play. And there's 2 away.
But if you, if you get the play, if Keenholz is here tomorrow, you could say ground ball to Lincoln. Lincoln retired. I mean, if you want to, it would confuse me, but then I'm easily confused anyway. So.
I could have a lot of fun with this tomorrow. That is assuming that Lincoln Keenholz is here, as the 0-1 pitch. That one is. That's assuming Lincoln's here.
Yeah.
Which one am I talking about here?
You're going to stay up all night thinking of things and thinking about ways to come up with different phrases and scenarios for that game tomorrow.
The 0-1 pitch is popped up on the left side. Matt Hansen will take a step into left field to make the catch, and that will retire the side. I think I got to stay up longer than just one night to try and be witty about something. As we will step aside. It's a 6-0 lead for the Pierre Governors after the top of the 5th over the Washington Warriors. Back in a minute, you're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
Spring is finally here, and it's time to be on the lookout for one of South Dakota's most serious noxious weeds. This invader of roadside trees, pastures, and range is leafy spurge. This noxious weed infests over 300,000 acres. It's a perennial with a distinctive yellow-green color and stems that contain a milky sap. Roots can reach over 20 feet deep. There are several control options that producers can look at, including herbicide and biological control. If you have questions about leafy spurge, contact your local county weed and pest supervisor or the South Dakota Department of Agriculture.
As we welcome you back, bottom of the 5th inning, the Pierre Governors lead 6-0 over the Washington Warriors.
As we look at the scoreboard on the other games being played right now in Class A baseball across South Dakota, we have a final in from Brookings as the Bobcats defeated Rapid City Central 16-0. In the top of the 5th, Sioux Falls O'Gorman leads Huron 8-1, and in the bottom of the 2nd, Mitchell and the Yankton Bucks are scoreless.
Here is Jaden Wiebe. It is 8-9-1 to lead things off for the Governors here in the bottom of the 5th with the 6-0 lead. First pitch, Wiebe will ground it to the third baseman. Osborne can't field it again. Another error is going to be charged to the third baseman, who has just been struggling over at third base. Actually looks like it's Bryce Ronkin who's over at third base.
Yeah, and that's just one of those, just having one of those days over at third base. Sometimes no matter what you do, the ball just cannot find a way into your glove, and that's what we're seeing from third base over with the Washington Warriors today.
Here's a good bunt for Kruger, and that one will barely be foul. It got touched foul. It might not even been touched foul, but it was nearly grabbed fair by the third baseman. But Kruger will have to try and bunt it again. That one went down the third baseline. That, depending on how the infield grass is laid out, and most of the time you see it with an infield grass, that ball will skip a little bit farther to the left. But that one, if it's all infield dirt, it probably stays fair. It probably doesn't have that full-fledged kick that it has that we saw in that bunt attempt from Kruger. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Mowat to Kruger. Try and bunt it again. He'll bunt it right back to the pitcher, Mowat. He'll turn and throw to second. There's one. And Kruger is 0 for 2 on trying to get bunt attempts down. Fielder's choice again as he is on first base.
Yeah, and able to get the bunt down, but you just need to get the ball down one of the foul lines, and unfortunately for Kruger today, both the times he's been able to get the ball down on the bunt, it's been right back at the pitcher, and bunting is an art form. I mean, it's something that looks easy, but it's a lot harder to do once you step into that box and you've got an 80-mile-an-hour fastball coming right at you.
First pitch is taken for strike one to Lincoln Keenholz. 2 years ago we talked about that, and I made the comment that I could outbunt anybody, and saying that, MLB The Show, if we had the attributes for each other, as Keenels will ground that one fair down the first base line. Rounding at second and heading for third is Kruger. The throw coming in. The tag applied. Kruger is safe at third. Keenels will take second on the throw. And there is now one down and runners at second and third on the single by Lincoln Keenels. And that'll bring up now McGuire Rasky as Kate Kaiser will come out to run for Keenels.
Yeah, we've got some defensive switches for Washington. Rippentrop has moved in from center field to play second base. Ronkin has moved from second base to third base. We've got a new center fielder. We have not been able to get an eyeball on the number of the new Washington Warrior out in center field, but some defensive switches here in the bottom of the fifth for the Washington Warriors.
First pitch to McGuire Rasky is taken for ball one, as the 1-0 pitch to Rasky is outside. It's now 2-0. But yeah, I said that real life I'd be like or I guess not real life, but MLB The Show, I'd be like a 95 with my bunting. And then I remember you asked the question about the home runs, and I said, well, that would be about a 0 for me. It's now 3-0 to McGuire Rasky. But when I play MLB The Show, my bunting's 0, and my home run power is like 100.
Does anybody bunt in MLB The Show?
If you're playing with your guy on Road to the Show, I doubt you ever do. But if you're actually playing a game, maybe you might, depending on how important that game is to you. As McGuire Rasky will draw a walk, and the bases are now loaded here with one down.
I think bunting in video games is about like shooting a 15-foot jumper in the NBA right now. It just doesn't happen.
Why do you do it? What's the point? Here's the first pitch to Andy Gore. The base is loaded. He'll pop that one up. That's going to be an infield fly. So there's now 2 down. And it'll bring up Bennett Dean, trying to drive in these runs all over the bases. He is 2 for 3 so far as Dean with an RBI on each of those singles. 2 runs driven in here for Dean so far in the ball game. Here's the first pitch from Mowat to Dean. He'll swing and shoot that one out towards center field. That one is going to get down for extra bases. And Dean will round to second. He's going to try for third. He's going to clear the bases with a 3-run triple as the throw comes in. And Bennett Dean has opened this one up to a 9-0 lead. And all of a sudden, Jake Mayer's got to just drive him in any way, shape, and form with 2 outs at the bottom of the fifth. And the Governors will get a win.
Yeah, just first pitch hitting, looking first pitch fastball, and drove it right away and one hopped the fence just to the left of the 378 sign, the Oahe Federal Credit Union sign, out in straightaway center field, and with 2 outs, bases loaded, runners are all moving on contact. They all score easily, and the Governors are now up 9-0, and like you said, John, 90 feet away from ending this one early.
Which, going into the bottom of the fourth inning, wasn't really a thought process for anybody. 2-0 lead going the bottom of the fourth, and all of a sudden it's 9-0. And that pitch comes in and almost hits Jakey Mayer. And the count is now 2-0. He's looking for his first hit. It'll be a big one to pick up a win here for the Governors. He's walked, and he also reached on an error. And his 3 trips to the plate. The 2-0 pitch, they're going to say he swung, and it's now 2-1.
Yeah, a ball that came over the inside corner, and Jake kind of trying to move out of the way, kind of brought the bat through the zone and check swing for a called strike.
2-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and it's now 2-2. Jakey wasn't trying to make it a 10-0 win. He was trying to make it an 11-0 win. he was swinging for getting out of town here. Here's a 2-2 pitch upcoming from Mowat to Mayer. He'll swing and miss, and he'll go down on strikes. So the Governors have a 9-0 lead after 5 innings as they scored 3 times thanks to a 3-run triple by Bennett Dean, just 2 hits in the inning, another error, and 1 man left on base. We have played 5 complete. The Governors lead 9-0 over Washington. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
ServiceMaster of Pierre. It's no secret we clean carpets professionally, but not many people know we clean furniture, kitchens, bathrooms, walls, floors, and windows. We also do fire and water restoration, plus construction cleanups. There's nothing we can't clean. Give ServiceMaster a call at 224-9919. ServiceMaster, the clean you expect, the service you deserve. ServiceMaster, 224-9919.
As we welcome you back here to High Stadium as we head to the top of the sixth inning, Governors have a 9-0 lead over the Washington Warriors at 2-3-4. Brooks Stein, Gage Sharping, and Miles Reese. If he reaches base, then it will be going to Bryce Ronkin. As we are here at the top of the sixth, a 9-0 advantage for the Pierre. They've scored 4 in the fourth and 3 in the fifth, and nearly got that ending the game here in 5 innings, but will play into the sixth inning as the first pitch is taken for strike one to Brooks Stein, who is 0 for 1. He flew out to the center fielder. He also drew a walk, but he was stranded at second base. 0-1 pitch. It was grounded up the middle. Hansen underneath his glove. And the leadoff man is aboard here to open up the top of the sixth inning.
Yeah, ball back right up the middle. Hansen comes in. Was going to be a tough play for him, as he was going to have to make the play on the run, and then probably have to make the throw on the run, and ball just skidded under his glove out in center field. Rasky retrieves it, and Washington's got their leadoff man on here in the top of the sixth inning.
So the first air charge to the Governors here in this ball game. First pitch to Sharping is taken for strike one. As Sharping is 1 for 2 so far. He popped out to the pitcher Keenels on the first base line, and he also doubled down the left field line back in the top of the fourth. There's a swing and a foul tip at the plate, and it's now 0-2. I mentioned earlier, Sharping's a big boy. He's got a lot of muscle to him. A guy that there's any kind of a fight breaking out, I want him on my team. I don't want to square up with him. 0-2 pitch. That one misses low, and is now 1-2. And so we were going, nope, you don't want to square up with anybody. You just need to sit out if that happens. Anything that happens.
If anybody's insulting the English drinking songs, then this is the guy that we want on our
side.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one, a check swing. They will check him, and he did not swing. And again, that umpire is behind the pitching mound, so that makes it an even tougher call for him to make if the home plate umpire doesn't ring him up. And the count is now 2-2. I believe they got the call right anyway. Maybe he is as passionate as English drinking songs as you are, Greg. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. There's a strikeout for Keenels, now his 6th of the ball game. And there's one down here in the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and by getting this lead out to 9-0, and hopefully if the Governors can get out of this inning with a 0 on the board and come back and score a run in the bottom of the 6th, end this thing early, that just saves an arm out of the bullpen that potentially the Governors will be able to use later in this weekend. And so this is actually, even though the Governors are up 9-0, they're 5 outs away from potentially winning this game. If they could end this game early, this is potentially, a big inning for the Governors to shut down the Warriors right here.
First pitch is fouled at the plate by Miles Reese, who is 0 for 2. And there's no action in the bullpen right now for the Governors, but you always talk about, you might use the same amount of pitchers, and you might have a game where you got to use quite a few pitchers. As the 0-1 pitch is grounded to the right side, that one's going to be through a seeing-eye single into right field. Kruger will fire into second base. That's a good throw there by Kruger, getting into Hansen instead of trying to get him out at third base in Stein. So it's now first and third here with one down. But you talk about, it just seems so much different as Dirk Campbell will come out to the mound. He might make that pitching change, and it looks like he will. Matt Hansen looks to be the man to coming in. Just about ready to say, if you can limit to only have one pitcher, all of a sudden the rest of the weekend is set up perfectly for you, even though you might use the same amount of pitchers if you use all of them in the first game and everybody else. It gives you a sigh of relief when you can do something like that. But here's Matt Hansen that will come in to pitch. We'll step aside for a minute. We'll come back and tell you all the changes that could take place, or just that one change that we have. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your healthcare is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner. They'll answer your questions, and they'll even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy is the pharmacy you know and trust. That number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
CommTech in Pierre invites you to come out and check out their expansive showroom. It's filled with everything you need to thrive in today's technology-dependent world and a knowledgeable staff to guide you through. CommTech has TVs, computers, personal electronics to commercial electronics, anything to fit your technology needs. The experienced professionals at CommTech can guide you through any questions you may have. Whether you struggle with technology or live for it, CommTech can help you find exactly what you're looking for. CommTech will even install and service what they sell, so you don't have to worry once you get your products home. CommTech, located at 1601 North Lowell Avenue behind Walmart. Check them out online at CommTechPlus.com.
Matt Hansen will be on the mound here for the Pierre Governors with one down here in the top of the sixth. Greg, I didn't ask you what the commercial break, but you got his stats up and ready to go. I can get to the stats too if you.
I do.
There we go.
I'm right here.
Greg's always prepared.
Not always. Not always. Takes a little slow on the draw sometimes. For Matt Hansen, this will be his fourth appearance on the year. He does have one start, 1-0 on the year. He's thrown 6 2/3 innings, has allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, a 5.25 ERA on the year, a 1.65 WHIP. What's good about Hansen is that he gets ahead of hitters. In his 6 2/3 innings, he's thrown a first pitch strike to almost 68% of them, and if you can get ahead of hitters, that just bodes well and puts you in a position for success, especially here at the high school level.
So Hansen will deal with Bryce Ronkin, the left-handed hitting at third baseman. Now the first pitch to him, and on cue he gets ahead of the hitter. Greg is spot on as usual. First pitch strike from Matt Hansen to Ronkin.
Well, I don't know about that. That one, thank you, but I don't know.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Hansen to Ronkin. That one will bounce. That will get to the backstop, and it's now a 9-1 game as everybody moves up 90 feet. And so the first run will score here for Washington.
Yeah, and sometimes as a catcher, you've got to make that adjustment. I mean, you've just caught 85 pitches from your starter, from Lincoln Keenholz, and now you've got a new reliever in, a little bit of a different arm angle, ball's moving a little differently, and so a little bit of an adjustment that you have to make as a catcher when that reliever comes in.
There's a now 1-2 count here from Hansen to Ronkin as he got that pitch over for a strike. And in comes the now 1-2 pitch. That was a curveball that misses upstairs, and the count is now at 2-2.
We were, I think earlier in the week, was looking at some numbers and some of the history on the Governor baseball program, and right now the Governor's sitting 16-4 with a potential of at most 8 games left in this season, 4 this weekend, 2 in the region, 2 in the state tournament, so a max of 8 games left. They have assured themselves a winning record here in 2021. Of the 9 years the program's been in existence, going back to 2013, last year being suspended, the Governors have never had a losing season, and I think that just is an amazing stat. That in going back, this being the 8th season, the ninth season total, 8th season they've played games, that the worst they've been is 9-6. The first year of the program, a 60% winning percentage, and on whole, Steve Gray and the rest of the coaching staff have this program winning at over a 75% clip in that 9-year span.
It was a strikeout to Bryce Ronkin. The first pitch hits Patrick Osborne, so now here's Andrew Glovich, and the first pitch to him is taken for strike 1. So it's first and second here with 2 down in the bottom of the top of the 6th inning. 9-1 is their score. First, again, runners at first and second. Andrew Glovich is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and also walk. That pitch in the dirt and a good block there by Gordon. And the count is even now at ball and a strike. That's impressive numbers, especially for, again, because you have some limited games. You know, that 9-6, that's 15 games. You have 15 games to get yourself to stay over 500. As a 1-1 pitch, the check swing that's foul and over the head of Benedine. So now is 1-2. So you don't have a whole lot of time, and I guess you can say the reverse on if you play a long season, you got more time to get that record back to going under 500. But for Pierre to always have that winning record, to always be in there, credit to the coaches, but credit to the athletes for because it's tough, as Hansen will get the strikeout to end the inning, but it is tough when you have the weather change that you've had, especially this year, all the bad weather that we've had, and I shouldn't say bad weather, we've been able to play all but 2 games, but just the cold weather and everything like that, it makes it just more and more tough to try and be at over 500. That will end the inning here at the top of the 6th. 1 run scored on 1 hit, 1 error in the inning, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Governors lead 9-1 over Washington. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
South Dakota didn't always have a capital, or even a permanent settlement for that matter. There wasn't always a river city on the Missouri River. And before First Dakota filed the first charter in 1872, there wasn't always a bank in South Dakota. Every timeless institution, tradition, and thriving business was started somewhere by someone who had a dream and the passion to make it happen first. What will be your South Dakota first? Visit firstdakota.com/first. Member FDIC.
Do you need the Pierre Governor apparel for the big game? Or how about Stanley County apparel or post-state apparel? All Around Graphics in Pierre is your place to go. Not only can you get your apparel, but they also do screen printing, jerseys, awards, and trophies. And did you know they can print and customize your signs? All Around Graphics can do it all. Located at 819 North Euclid Avenue or call 224-4677. All Around Graphics in Pierre, your one-stop shop.
As we head over to the bottom of the 6th inning, John Wickler alongside Greg Dean as we have a new pitcher, and it will be for you is going to be Rippentrop. Dylan Rippentrop will be on the mound as Moen will move over to second base to replace him. In center, it should be Osborne rocking over at third base, and it is going to be Rippentrop for the Washington Warriors to be on the mound now as he will face Jack Merkwan, Matt Hansen, and Jaden Wiebe.
The discussion in the previous half inning, that 2013 season, the first year of the Governor High School baseball program, the Governors played the first weekend of April, and then it was just one of those odd weather years where in 3 consecutive weeks there were snowstorms that came through Pierre, and so the Governors didn't play from the first weekend of April until the very last, that right before the 1st of May, and so that really limited that schedule. That's why if you look on the history, they only had 15 games that year compared to most of the other years where they've got 25 or so.
And that's the difficult part of spring baseball, and summer baseball is the same way because you schedule all these games, and those are the times where you can play it. If you don't have an opportunity to play at that time, it's really hard to make up any kind until you get to the playoffs. It's hard to make up any of those games. As the count is 2-1 to Merkwan. There's a ground ball right back up the middle for a base hit. Hit the front of the mound and bounced over, and that one got past Osborne out in center field, and Merkwan will take second. And it's now a runner at second base to lead off the inning on a base hit and an error charge to the center fielder. As actually the center fielder.
It is Osborne out in center field.
So Osborne will get another error against him, and it's the leadoff man on base at second for now Matt Hansen, who is the pitcher of record.
Yeah, that'll go down as a hit and an error for Merkwan. So right now, the Governors have a 9-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. If you can get Merkwan around to score, find a way to scratch out another run, Governors could end this thing early.
Here's the 1-0 pitch from Rippentrop to Hansen. He'll fly that one out to right field, and the right fielder giving chase, but it will land foul. And the count is now even at a ball and strike to Hansen, who is 1 for 3 so far. He got a base hit in the bottom of the 4th. He also flew out in the bottom of the 4th inning. The only guy to come to the plate twice in that 4th. 10 guys came to the plate in that 4-run inning for the Governors. Have scored 4 in the 4th and 3 in the 5th. That opened up a 9-0 lead. Now it's 9-1 here with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's a chopper off the plate, being fielded by the pitcher. The throw to first is in time. Taking third is Merquan, and he almost slid past the bag, standing up, sliding past the bag. So there's a runner on third here with 1 down, as that'll bring up Jaden Wiebe. That looked like Merquan's wearing turf shoes out there instead of wearing cleats.
Yeah, he, nice piece of base running by Merquan, just to be able to read the play and got a nice jump going over to third. But you're right. I mean, he almost overran the bag and potentially would have run himself out of the inning.
For the 1-0 pitch, that one is over, and it's now 1-1 here to Jack Merquan, to Jaden Wiebe. Merquan is on third base here with 1 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's 1-1 pitch, and Wiebe out towards right field. Coming in will be the right fielder, and Sharping to make the catch. Merquan will tag. He's going to try and score. The throw will come sliding in, and Merquan will score to make it now a 10-1 lead for the Governors, and to empty the bases now with 2 away, as it'll bring up Brecken Kruger.
And Sharping in right field for the Washington Warriors comes in, makes the catch, and then as he loads to throw, his feet actually go out from underneath him. He slips as he makes the throw, and still made a close play at the plate. I mean, if he doesn't slip out there, it's anybody's guess as to whether Merquan is able to score on that play, because he actually got a fair amount of velocity behind that throw, even though his feet went out from under him.
First pitch is taken for a strike to Brecken Kruger. Excuse me, that is not Kruger that is to the plate as I look up to it.
Gary
Nedved, yeah, as the count is now 1-1 here to Nedved. Nedved had a big double in that 4-0 win in game number 2. He had a double that cleared the bases at the time to give the Governors a 2-0 lead, as they'll swing and miss at that. Is now 1-2 here to Nedved.
And Nedved he plays a fair amount of corner infield for this Governor team. It will be a valuable player in the coming year for both Post 8 and next year on the Governor football program and in the baseball program.
The 2-2 pitch coming to Gary Nedved. There's a little blooper towards left field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and Nedved will extend the inning, and the winning run is on base here for the Governors in the bottom of the 6th when they lead at 10-1.
Yeah, just a ball that on the outside part of the plate that Nedved extended the bat, went out and got, and was able to lift over the head of the shortstop into short left field, and finds himself on with a Texas League single.
Texas League, that's one of your favorite phrases, isn't it?
I like Texas Leaguers.
As like Akitos to the plate.
Hit way too many of them in my short and very unillustrious playing career.
The first pitch is a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1 to Keenels. Keenels is 3 for 3. He hasn't had too many Texas Leaguers in this game. He's 3 for 3, been on base all 4 times. He's intentionally walked his other time he's come to the plate. As the 0-1 is fouled back, and it's now 0-2.
Yeah, just exactly what you like to see out of your leadoff hitter. 3 for 3 with a walk, on base all 4 times. I mean, you don't get a better table setter than that.
The count again 0-2 here to Lincoln Keenels. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one will get to the backstop, and taking second base will be Nedved. And now he is in scoring position for the guy that has, and they might even, well, with 2 strikes, you're probably not going to want to put him on, but Nedved on second base, a base hit could win the ball game here for Pierre.
Yeah, with 2 outs, Nedved's going to be off on contact, so any kind of a base hit is likely going to be a game ender right now.
Now here comes the 2-2 pitch, or excuse me, 1-2 pitch to Keenels outside, and it's now 2-2.
Yeah, and again, the Governors have just kind of played their brand of ball. I mean, just kind of continued to put base hit after base hit. Scoreboard shows 10 runs on 10 hits. Just kind of kept the pressure on Washington all game long. I mean, lots of runners in scoring position today, and when they've had runners in scoring position, the Governors have been able to deliver with 1 out, 2 out hits. Just have done a lot of things right today.
Here's the 3-2 pitch to Keenels. upstairs, and he draws the 2-out walk. And it's now first and second here for McGuire Raskey, who is 1 for 3 so far. And a base hit could win the ball game here for Pierre again.
Yeah, and Washington not trying to extend the game. They're playing back with 2 outs. They're just looking to try to get an out for something that's hit in the infield. Which good strategy move. I mean, you really wouldn't want to bring the infield in, but anything into the outfield, Nedved's going to get a good jump, and you got to figure that Ryan Kruger's going to try to score him at third base.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Raskey, and that's taken for ball 2, and the count is now 2-0 here to Raskey. Again, he got a 2 RBI base hit. Here back in the bottom of the 4th inning, part of that 4-run inning for the Governors. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and Raskey will foul it away, and it's now 2-1.
Yeah, and this is actually kind of a big at bat right here. I mean, it was a good at bat last time for McGuire Raskey. Just really barreled one up, went right back up the middle. You'd like to see him do the same thing right here.
2-1 pitch is missed and is now 3-1. On deck is Andy Gordon, and he would be the last batter in the bottom of the 6th inning, one way or the other. Either the Governors would take a 10-run lead or they would end the inning and go to the top of the 7th. 3-1 pitch. That one will miss. It's a walk, and the bases are now loaded. And we'll have Andy Gordon come to the plate as the last hitter in the bottom of the 6th. Bennett Dean going to be a good teammate, staying in the on-deck circle, even though he will not come to the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning. He's going to get himself ready like he's going to come to the plate, but he's not going to step up to the plate at all. Here's the first pitch to Gordon. That one is taken for strike 1.
Yep, there is no way that Bennett Dean finds a way to the plate here in the 6th inning.
I think somebody is telling him that too. Say, hey, you can't come up, and give him the head nod. As that one comes into Gordon, almost hits him and would have ended the game. The count is now 1-1.
Walk-off hit by pitch?
We haven't seen that one yet. We've seen several.
It's a rarity, but it does happen.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. That one is at the letters, and it's now 1-2. So Gordon, who is looking for his first hit, he is 0 for 3 so far. He was hit by a pitch earlier in the ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's outside and is now 2-2. Nowhere to put him. Got to go after the man, and Gordon is trying for his 20th RBI of the year. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And Gordon will pop it up towards left field. Coming in will be the left fielder. Make the catch, and we will head to the top of the 7th inning. Another run scores on 2 hits in the inning. 1 error and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 7th, or top of the 7th. The Governors have a 10-1 lead over Washington. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
AGTEGRA in Highmore. We pride ourselves on providing our customers with reliable markets, superior services, and quality products. From corn and soybeans to spring and winter wheat, you can trust AGTEGRA in Highmore with all your grain handling needs. It's all about helping you achieve the best harvest possible. Call AGTEGRA of Highmore today at 605-846-1379. That's 605-846-1379.
Are you building a new home or remodeling the old? Adding a fireplace can make a house a home. Olson Plumbing in Pierre carries a full line of Heatolator fireplaces. Whether your taste is traditional or contemporary, Olson Plumbing has a great selection of Heatolator fireplaces that will fit any style. Whether you're building new or updating, call Olson Plumbing. Heatolator Fireplaces, the first name in fireplaces. Olson Plumbing in Pierre is your source for the industry's largest selection of indoor-outdoor fireplaces, either gas or wood, and outdoor fire pits. Stop by their showroom at 2803 East Wells or give them a call, 224-6436.
As we welcome you back, top of the 7th, Pierre Governors have a 10-1 lead over Washington.
Other scores from around the state in the top of the 7th. O'Gorman now leads Huron 9-2. In the top of the 5th, Mitchell and Yankton, the Colonels have a 2-1 lead over the Bucks. And in the bottom of the 1st, in Game 2 in Brookings, the Bobcats lead the Rapid City Central Cobblers 2-1.
Here in the top of the 7th, Matt Hansen looking to finish this one out as he will have 8-9-1 to deal with. Jack Neschi, Bronson Moen, and then Dylan Rippentrop. If anybody reaches base, it will go to Brooks Steins. Here with the top of the 7th in a 10-1 lead here for the Pierre Governors. First of two here this afternoon. I guess no longer the afternoon. We're in the evening. Still feels like the afternoon with how long the daylight is. First pitch is missed for ball one. We're closing in at 7 o'clock here.
Beautiful day.
It's been a beautiful day all day long, and turned into going to be a beautiful night here at the Heights Stadium. That was at the Letters. Is now 1-1.
Yeah, we've got a nice crowd on hand here at Heights Stadium, but there's still plenty of seats available. Really would encourage anybody who's listening to come out and take a look at this Governor baseball team as they're on the verge of going to 17-4 on the year.
So the count is now 2-1 here from Hansen to Nesci. And the 2-1 pitch. That one is lined into center field for a base hit, a leadoff single for Nesci. And that will bring up Bronson Mowat here with nobody out in the top of the 7th inning. Apologize for those that are been watching on YouTube at KCCR Sports. As always, technology likes to be my best friend. And if I'm not paying enough attention to it, it'll start nagging me a little here. It seems like things are back to normal here for a little bit. Won't hold my breath that it won't happen again. But first pitch is in the dirt for ball one to Andy Gordon. Technology is a beautiful thing that will make you pull your hair out, and I don't have much hair left to pull out.
Well, and it's wonderful when it works, and when it doesn't, it's the most frustrating thing available.
That's now a 1-1 count here to Bronson Mowat, who is batting for the second time. He's 0 for 1 so far. Isn't that crazy, though? Because, technology should work all the time. There should never, ever be a mistake from technology. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That one's upstairs. It's actually going to get away into the backstop. So the runner will get to second base here in a 2-1 count.
Probably a lot of those people on the East Coast who had their gas pipeline disrupted and couldn't fill their cars up probably would argue about technology working all the time.
I guess that's true. 2-1 pitch. That was a ground ball through the hole for a base hit. Rounding third, they're going to stop him at third base, is going to be Nesci, and the Bronson Mowat has a base hit, and it's first and third here with nobody out.
Yeah, and again, just what you're looking for from Matt Hansen is just strikes. You're working with a 9-run lead. It doesn't necessarily be an issue whether you're up 10-1 or you win 10-1 or whether you win 10-8. But it looks like we are going to have a pitching change to try to close this out here in the top of the 7th.
It looks like Bennett Dean will come to the mound to try and finish this one out here in the top of the 7th inning. So we will step aside, come back in a minute, and tell you all the changes. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Ferding Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Ferding Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Ferding Electric, 224-8684.
Are you driving a 2014 or newer vehicle? Are there less than 100,000 miles on it? Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is prepared to give you top dollar. Again, if your ride is 2014 or newer with less than 100,000 miles, Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you top dollar for it right now. Trade it in or sell it to us. Doesn't matter. Your vehicle has never been worth more than it is right now. Stop in at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gatewayflt.com.
As we welcome you back here at Heights Stadium, I apologize to those maybe listening on the radio at today's KCCR or online at today's KCCR.com. Bennett Dean, though, is on the mound here for the Pierre Governors as he will try and finish this one out. Matt Hansen will move to third base. Jake Mayer is out to left field. And at first base now, Brady Getz will enter the game as there is at first and third here with nobody out in the top of the 7th.
for Bennett Dean. This is his 7th appearance on the year, 12 2/3 innings pitched. He has 2 starts on the year. He's 1-2 on the year, 2 saves on the year. This is not a save situation. 6 hits allowed, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts, a 1.66 ERA, and a 0.79 WHIP on the year for Dean.
1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball right back to the mound, and Dean will underhand flip. Didn't even worry about the runner coming in to score, so it's now a 10-2 game, but the first out is made with now a runner on second base. And again, because the force out is at first base and you're up by 9 runs, you don't worry about that. You don't try and get into a pickle with that runner trying to come in to score, because the last thing that you have happen is an error and everybody's safe.
Yeah, and right now you're just looking to get outs. I mean, you'll trade runs for outs, every day, all day right now.
As the first pitch is missed for ball 1 to Brooks Stein. As the 1-0 pitch to Stein is upstairs and is now 2-0.
Yeah, and again, you're up 10-2. Really, right now, you just need to come in and throw strikes. You need to come in and challenge hitters and just take control of this game. Stay away from nibbling on the corners. Just make Washington try to earn their way on.
So the count is now at 3-0 here to Brooks Stein. 3-0 pitch. He's swinging for it, and he'll get a base hit out and towards right field. And Brecken Kruger will cut it off and throw it into the cutoff man gets, so it's now first and third with 1 down. And that's the 3rd hit in the ball in the inning here for Washington. But Greg, as Greg said, just throw strikes, let him hit the ball. Eventually, it's still an 8-run lead here in the top of the 7th. Nothing to worry about other than walking someone. Base hit, that's fine. Allow them to have as many base hits. Well, not as many as they want, but just allow them to put the ball in play and make the play to get out of this ball game. First pitch to Gage Sharping is missed for ball 1.
Yeah, and in this kind of situation, I presume that Dean is probably on. They'll probably keep him under that 30-pitch limit so that he would be available to throw tomorrow. If the situation presents itself, probably would mean that I suspect Isaac Pollock probably would be the first reliever out of the bullpen in game number 2 today.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Sharping. That one's upstairs, and it's now 2-1. I think you're right, Greg, that you keep Dean, and especially in this situation that he is, and maybe that's why they took Hansen out as well, the pitch count, to try and keep him available for tomorrow. As a 2-1 pitch, there's a swing and a miss, and it's now 2-2. Especially with where this game is at, that if Dean gets to that pitch count total, then 1, he hasn't been able to get out of the inning, and you probably want to go get him anyway. But 2, just for the fact that you're up by 8 runs, you don't need to burn him for tomorrow as well. There's a ground ball. Hansen will field it, throw to second for 1. Back to first. There's a game-ending double play, and the Governors will take game 1 of the doubleheader. Don't need to worry about a pitch count. Just get a 5-4-3 double play to get you out of the ball game. And the Governors will win game number 1. Now 17 wins on the season for Pierce, 17-4, and a big 47-point win for the Governors. Back in 2 minutes to wrap this one up. Govs win 10-2. Back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Overhead Door Company of Pierre is a locally owned business specializing in the sale, service, and installation of residential and commercial garage doors. They provide quality, dependable products with constant service and the peace of mind you need. Overhead Door is one of the most recognized and most respected brand in the garage door industry. For installation and repairs, call Overhead Door Company today at 224-6200. That's 224-6200.
Wondering what to do with the pitted and rutted drive? B&B Equipment will get you covered. Wanting to put something down the ground? B&B Equipment will put a hole in your project. Need to even up that property? B&B Equipment can fill that need. B&B Equipment can deliver all your gravel and material needs. B&B Equipment is here for all your excavation needs. Contact B&B Equipment, 224-6727. A contractor here for you. That's B&B Equipment, 224-6727.
Innovation. It's right here. Avera St. Mary's Hospital keeps care local for you and your family, offering comprehensive care that has earned 4 out of 5 stars by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services in hospital performance and safety. Avera St. Mary's world-class care is further supported by advanced technology, 2-way video e-consults, 3D mammography, and a state-of-the-art birthing center, so you and your family don't have to go anywhere else, because innovation lives right here in Pierre. Learn more at avera.org/news.
Your home and business are important to you, and you need quality furnace and air conditioning products and service. With a combined 50-plus years of experience, AIRTECH Heating and Cooling provides you with just that service. Call 945-0160 for sales, service, and installation of furnaces, air conditioning, and heat pumps. AIRTECH Heating and Cooling features the American Standard products. Sales, installation, and service. You want the best, and that's what you'll find at AIRTECH Heating and Cooling in Pierre.
As we welcome you back, as we are here at Hyatt Stadium, the game one is in the books, 10-2 win for the Pierre Governors. As they get 10 runs on 10 hits, they had just 1 error in the ball game. They left 10 guys on base. For Washington, 2 runs, 6 errors, and 7 guys left on base. And, Greg, the big story for that first game win for the Governors is taking advantage of the errors that Washington had.
Yeah, and I think a good start for the Governors. I mean, just the good momentum going into the rest of the weekend, and they certainly got off on the right foot, coming in knowing that you really want to win at least 2 to put themselves in a position to potentially host a regional tournament next weekend. But right now they just came in and just had their way. They just came in and took advantage of every one of the mistakes that Sioux Falls, Washington had today. A good pitching performance from Lincoln Keenholz, probably not the best that we've seen him this year, but did his job, put the Governors in a position to win, only allowing 1 run over 5 1/3 innings, and then the Governors just continued to just put lots of pressure on the Sioux Falls, Washington pitching staff all the way from the first inning all the way through the end of the game. So just a good outing for the Governors on all sides of the ball.
And it goes with that big 10-2 win here in game number 1. We'll now get a chance for the sweep, which would be a huge sweep for the Pierre Governors if they can get those 2 wins. And again, you win that first one. You want 2 wins in the weekend, and you get that first win out of the way. That's a big one in game number 1 to get that first win, because now it opens up the rest of the weekend for you to win at least 1 more game to almost solidify yourself as a number 4 seed, and you got 3 games to try and win 2 of those 3 to put yourself in a possibility of even being the 3 seed going into next weekend.
Yeah, and I think right now, I think the Governors are certainly, not thinking about just winning 1 of the next 3. I mean, they're thinking, we want to win all 3. I mean, and just keep the momentum rolling right now. I mean, they're feeling really good about what they're doing right now. They've now won 7 in a row. Just clicking on all cylinders right now. And I think probably one of the biggest differences is just 1 fielding error for the Governors in this game versus 6 for Sioux Falls, Washington. And those errors just add up. I mean, that's basically, if you equate an error to an out, that's 2 extra innings that the Governors got to hit with those 6 extra outs.
Yeah, and I mean that tells you too, when you win by 8 runs, well, if you score a run for every extra out that you have, well, that puts that game out of reach. If you have no errors in that ball game, all of a sudden you're within striking distance of that top of the 7th, and things are much different when you got 2nd and 3rd or 1st and 3rd with 2 outs or 1 out. And the pressure is completely on Pierre then, not so much on Washington just to try and get base hit after base hit after base hit. So the Govs were able to take advantage of that, all those errors that were in that ball game, and end up winning 10-2 here in game number 1. So game number 2 is going to be on the way here in just a little bit. They're going to be looking for that sweep with the Pierre Governors. We will step aside for those 3 minutes. We'll come back, and you'll hear from News Director Zach Nelson after he had then to get a chance to have that 5 o'clock news. We'll have that for you as you are listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. We will be back again. 3-minute break. We'll have the Zach's news. We'll be back to start game number 2 of a preview of game 2, as well as getting set for game number 2 here in just a little bit. You're listening to Pierre Governor Baseball.